Hey, Nick.
Oh, hey, Tys.
How you doing, man?
Oh, Jesus.
Are you very excited, though?
I'm very excited.
It's a Halloween special.
We're at
with
Halloween,
Nic, Tys and
Tys.
Videotape.
We are.
Episode number 82, Halloween special. I'm really excited, man.
82. Amazing. I can't wait.
Nick,
It's going to be fun. Yeah. What's up?
is that yours?
No? I thought that was yours.
That tape recorder?
No?
That's not yours?
No, that's not mine.
How did that get there?
It says play me on it.
What?
That's a bit weird.
Should we
Oh, fuck.
play it?
No, I don't think you should.
Okay.
But you might as well now, because you've said it.
We'll just go ahead and we'll just ignore it. It's fine. We'll just go ahead and do the episode.
You have to play it now.
Well, no,
You've
we
already
do.
said something. So you might as well pick it up and hit play. Go play. Go on. Shit.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna do it.
right.
Are you sure it's not yours, though?
It's not mine.
Okay.
I thought it was yours.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're just gonna play it. See what
Okay,
happens.
here we go.
Hello, Nicholas. Hello, Tyson. I want to play a game. For 81 episodes, you two have bored your listeners as you talk trailers, feature presentations, and stream crossing. Yet, in this time, you have neglected to discuss any movie franchise in its entirety out of fear. Fear of watching so many movies in so little time. It is time to face this fear. To survive, you must rank all 8 movies in a notorious horror film franchise. A franchise that has become so convoluted in its backstory, so outlandish in its violence, and so overstuffed with superfluous characters that discerning one episode to the next will become a near impossible task, even to the most devoted fan. I am speaking, of course, of the Saw franchise. You must complete this ranking in the next 2 hours or face the possibility of ruining Halloween for your legion of devoted followers, resulting in waves of these listeners hitting the dreaded unsubscribe button, where they will become lost to you forever. And remember, I will be listening. Rank or die. Make your choice.
Oh shit!
I'm done. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yep.
I think
We're going to go. That's the end of the podcast. Nic Tys will never come back again.
It was
fun knowing you all.
Look, no, it was fun while it lasted. But clearly, we're out of here. Or Nick, you know what? It's our Halloween special, my
And we
man.
could do the full franchise. Fuck.
Let's rank the Saw.
We're going to rank the Saw movies, people.
Oh dear Lord! Well,
Shit.
the surprise is ruined. Oh, it was never a surprise anyway.
It was never a surprise.
It was probably in the episode title. Yes, today.
There you go.
Our Halloween special episode, Nick. We're going to rank all 8 of the Saw movies.
All
we
8.
have put ourselves
not 5,
through this.
Not 3, 8.
So you don't have to. You can just skip to when they are reasonably okay.
Exactly.
And get rid of some of the crap ones.
You can
and
listen to this and go, well, I'm going to skip that one. That one was sad.
and not know what the hell is going on because,
Exactly.
my God, what is going on in this film fucking series? I have no idea who these people are.
I remember trying to watch it for the first time, like watching, because Saw was one of my favourites. Like, I loved Saw when it came out. It was huge. And then when 2 and 3 came out, I was like, oh, yeah, I'll give them a watch. And then tried to. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Well, so here it's going to be, guys. This is going to be the definitive ranking
Of
the Saw movies.
the Saw franchise. I like it.
And now a feature program.
Okay. So, Nick, we're going to do this the way we do
Yes.
our We Rank stuff. So, technically, this is We Rank Stuff Volume 6, maybe. I'm not quite sure what we're up to, actually.
Well,
in
no, we
that.
don't know. We'll get back to
Yeah.
that.
And so we're going to do it the same way we do
Jesus.
everything. So we have our system.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to
That's
table
like
it.
we
if
did for the top 10s. We are going to table it. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. If someone has a title that is slightly higher,
Sure.
we'll leave that until we get to its highest point
Okay.
on the list.
Okay.
Um,
This is not, people, we are not ranking the kills in Saw. We are ranking the films.
We are ranking the films. We will have discussions about our favourite traps and
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, it got to a point towards the end there where I was just like so desensitized to any part of it that
To
I was
any
just kind
violence
of
whatsoever.
like,
You're like,
well, there's some intestines, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look real, but sure.
Yeah, there's some fucking...
There's a
some-
head coming off.
Yeah,
What
there's
the hell?
something melting from the
Yeah.
inside. Great.
That's
Great.
awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
Nick,
Tice.
here we go, man.
All right.
Do you want to go with your number 8?
Jesus. Okay,
What
hang on.
was
wait.
your least...
Oh, my least favourite?
Your
Oh, that's
least
very
favourite
easy.
Saw film?
Very easy. That would be Saw 2.
Tabled.
Tabled. Okay.
My least favourite Saw film.
Hang on a minute. Let me just double check that. Can I double check?
Yeah,
Hang
of course you can.
Yes, I'm going to stick with Saw 2 as my least favourite.
We will return to Saw 2
in just a moment.
in due time.
Sure. Your
My least favourite Saw film.
Saw film, Tys, was?
Saw 4.
Saw 4. Jesus. See, this is the thing. Which one was Saw 4?
Tabled? Or is it your 7th, in which case we talk about it now?
No, it's my 7th. So
It is your 7th.
Let's talk about it now.
So
Yep.
you've ranked it number 7.
Yeah.
I've ranked it number 8. Saw 4. Saw 4. So,
Jesus.
now this is what we're going to find as we get through this.
Yep.
Is that, for me, Saw 4 is the point where it became a fucking shitstorm.
Yes, that you were like, no one knows what they're doing. Storyline is out the window. We have a franchise and we don't know what we're doing.
No. And they tried to do so much stuff with this.
They
right?
really did.
And look,
They so did.
they were left with a predicament because we have this film series where the main villain has died.
Yeah.
And they want to continue the series. And to base it in any sense of reality, we can't do what these other ones do, where they just kind of magically come back to life. Mm-hmm. And so
This was bad. This was a bad one.
It is a bad one. So we get the kind of the introduction of Hoffman.
We do, and it's kind of trying to pick up where 3 left off, which...
And look, we'll get to 3 eventually.
We'll get to 3 later.
The ending of 3, though, was probably for me one of the stronger endings.
Yeah, sure.
And it actually gave me a little bit of, I'm interested to watch 4.
Yes, exactly. And that's what you get as it's very formulaic almost, the Saw films. Like you'll get that the theme song coming in at the back and you're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's dun, 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 dun. And you're like, oh, well, what's going to happen at the end? Whereas this one was just completely. It was throwing everything into the pot and nothing, or everything to the wall and nothing stuck.
Yes. So just because I'm going to need to recap them all for my own benefit, and I'll need you to help me.
I can. Okay.
So
I've got
Saw
it right
4
here.
is
Saw 4 is
the police, the SWAT
guy. Yeah, which is kind of
appeared almost just in the background in the other 2 episodes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I
So
was like,
Saw
"Is that
2.
guy in those other ones?"
Yeah. So he's in Saw 2 and Saw 3.
Yeah.
But he was very minor character.
Yes.
Minor to the point where when you realise that the main game was with him in the 4th one, you were like, well, I don't know who you are. I'm not connected to you. So have fun. You're going to die.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So you were like, you didn't care. And that's why it's at the bottom. Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't care about him, for starters.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to kind of make peace with the idea that this Hoffman character...
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, he's not revealed until the end, is he? No, he's not revealed until the end of 4 to be the
guy who's
the mastermind of it, isn't he?
Curator, yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end of 4.
It's at the end you find out. So he's trying to... Jesus Christ, Nick almost dropped his laptop.
Spoilers for the Saw franchise, by the way. We're going to spoil
we're going to spoil everything.
Thing.
But what I've heard, I've been talking to people about it. They're like, "Oh, Nick, what's the podcast up to?" And I'm like, "I'm doing the Saw franchise." And like, "Wow, good luck with that."
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And it's a collective awareness that it's just a shitstorm.
Yeah.
So we get this the story, and his whole deal from Jigsaw's perspective is that he is too preoccupied with saving everybody. He to his own detriment.
Oh, you're talking about Saw 4. Yeah.
So his task is to understand that you cannot save everybody.
Yeah.
And by not saving some people, you are actually doing better things.
You're facing your fear, as it were.
Well, yeah.
But not really.
And it's a grey area,
and this
as
is why it's terrible, yeah.
And this is it's got that whole. This is where the Jigsaw ethos, I think, gets a little murky as well.
Yeah,
because this is where it gets all introduced about the whole. You can't save the people; they have to save themselves.
Yep.
And it's
totally.
like, yeah, but
because
that's kind of different from where you started from, because you started with this idea that you want people to appreciate the life
they're given.
They have.
Yeah. And you're kind of going back on that because he's helping them, but really he's helping them not lose too many limbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like at the end, you're like, well, that guy can either lose an eye or lose all his arms. Either way, he's fucked, and you can't do anything.
And
like, yeah,
we don't. this is, for me, 4 was probably the most, like, just unpleasant to watch as well. Like, in terms of, like, you just feel kind of gross, and you're just like...
Gross as in what's happening? Like, like
it just feels kind of... Yeah, well, I mean, did you have a favourite trap from the fourth one?
I have a favourite game in all of them.
Oh, cool.
Because I made it a point to
pick your favourite game from each of them?
even if it was shit, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
What was your favourite from the fourth one?
So the fourth was... Oh, and this was hard to pick. Like, at the end of it, I'm like, well, I have to pick one, so it might as well be the first one that he comes across, which is the woman with her hair tied around a wrench, which is pulling her hair back.
Yes, essentially scalping her.
Yeah, essentially scalping her.
Yeah.
So there was... What did he have to do? He had to find a key? Where was the key?
There was a combination.
That's right.
But he was instructed to not save her.
Yeah, exactly, because she had done really bad things.
Yeah.
See, this is what you got throughout 4, which is why you didn't care about him or anyone else, because he was given what they had done, because they had done bad things.
Yes.
And then should you save them? Should you not?
Well, and then you get
It's up to him.
this kind of extra level of murkiness in the sense that not only is he instructed not to save her, but she's instructed that her game is that if he does save her, she has to kill him.
And she lives.
And so for her, it's kind of like you're caught in two different... Because obviously, if you're a trash bag, and we're presenting that she is, wouldn't she be straight up like, there's a knife in the thing, cut my hair off, and then
good thinking,
attack him, and then just go to town on him.
Exactly.
Like, basically pick up whatever you can.
Did she have a gun or something?
No, but the whole idea was if she got free, she'd have to stab him with the knife.
Yeah.
There's a knife.
Yeah.
You
cut my hair.
Cut my hair.
Yeah, it's not like... And she had long hair.
Yeah. It'll grow back.
Scalping me doesn't grow back.
Yeah, she doesn't have to... And she could play it cool and be like, thanks, you saved me. Oh, hug him.
Yeah.
And then just bite his neck out or some shit.
Yeah,
you know, like...
Exactly.
Anyway.
It was lame.
It was lame. This is the one that had the most dumb shit in it for me. What were the other... I can't even remember the ones in this. There was the creepy pedophile.
Yeah, he wasn't a pedophile. He was a rapist. Right. He was just a rapist who would tie women to bed, blindfold them, and rape them on film.
So he had his eyeballs plucked out and then his limbs torn off.
No. He could either have both eyes gouged out by these fork things, and if he did it in time, his arms wouldn't be drawn and quartered. It was literally drawn and quartered, so it would be severed off. Yeah. So he ran out of time. He lost one eye and then lost all his limbs. And you were like, hey, suffer. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end.
Sure.
So on to this, though, you've got mirrored the backstory of why Jigsaw does this.
So we do start to get...
You get some of that.
Much more of a convoluted backstory. Is this the one you find out about his wife?
This is the one. This is the baby.
So you find out that his wife had a miscarriage.
He has a baby. He has a wife.
Yeah.
His wife works in a drug rehabilitation center.
Yeah, like a community center kind of thing. Yeah.
And she helps people, and he thinks that she's wasting her time because these people don't appreciate life, which you get from that.
You need to teach them to save themselves. What's her name? Jill.
Jill.
Think about your character names, people. Think about what you're going to have to say over and over and over again.
Think of Jigsaw's voice and say a good name with Vanessa.
Yeah. What I found really funny was that he still kind of sounded like himself while they were just talking about mundane things.
He was, yeah.
It's like, what should we get to the shops? What do you want for dinner tonight?
We're out of orange juice. That really pisses me off.
I don't think I've got the vocal stamina to keep doing Jigsaw voice for the rest of
We do. We have to do it for the whole thing. Fuck, I just got a paper cut.
Exactly.
Do you know what I
mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with your in-laws.
Oh, God.
He's going to spend time with your mother again.
She's going to make me watch Days of Our Lives.
Oh, she keeps telling me to cut my hair.
Doesn't she know I'm a cancer patient?
Does he have cancer?
No, he doesn't have cancer yet. He doesn't have cancer yet.
Yeah.
So on that, one of the people that she's trying to help goes into the rehabilitation center and pushes a door so that it slams onto her very pregnant belly, and she has a miscarriage.
Yes.
This is why. And I think... So he obviously, the first ever game that he plays is with that guy.
Well, we'll get to that, because this is, I can't tell you anymore which one the first one is, because they've played that trick 3 or 4 times in this fucking franchise.
They even did it in the last one.
In the most recent one,
like, oh, God.
But they keep pulling the same tricks. Yeah. It's like, oh no, this is the first one.
And you're like, fuck off.
And I swear to God, if there's another Secret Apprentice ever again in these fucking movies.
Oh God, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
That was
So-
the seventh one. You were like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck
So
off.
Saw has. This is the beginning of. I think there are strong
It's the formula.
elements in some of these films.
Right.
Like, I actually don't mind how convoluted it gets because in a way, because I'm
It's
almost
trash.
gobsmacked by it. Like, I'm almost like,
Yeah.
you've got some fucking, like, you got some gumption
Yeah.
to think that a normal, just run-of-your-mill horror audience is going to roll up every year and
Yeah.
know who these
Who's
people
going
are.
on? Exactly. If we weren't watching them back to back, I wouldn't know.
And even
shit.
when I was watching them back to back, all through we'll get to I think it's the sixth one.
Yeah.
They're talking about Strawn. And I think it's Strawn. Oh, it's Strawn.
And you're like,
And I'm like,
who the fuck
was
is that?
Strawn? And I had to look it up and I'm like, oh, that FBI guy that literally was in 2 movies and I couldn't remember his name to save my life.
That happens to me in, what is Jigsaw? Jigsaw's 8.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the sixth one, the main story of that, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look, 4 ranks at the bottom for me. I mean,
Fair deal.
it's hard to talk about without kind of leaking into the other parts of the franchise.
Yeah.
But I think because I think we have a really weak protagonist in the SWAT guy
Yep,
who
so the
hasn't made
main-
any impact whatsoever up to that
And
point.
he's the main game.
And
like
yeah,
he's the
it's
main
his game.
Yep.
It's the beginning of the convolution
Of this fucking
of the
cop.
of the whole storyline. So we get to start, we get all this stuff with John Kramer that to me, like, isn't really that interesting. Like, as a figure, I don't think I need to know that his
Not
wife.
yet. Not at 4. Maybe
Like,
a little bit.
maybe just tiny little bits here and
Yeah.
there. But because of how overly reliant they become on little bits of history in his life and
Yeah.
how it's dictated the
What he's
traps that he's
doing.
made and
Yeah.
stuff, it becomes kind of like it actually makes me care less the more information I have about him.
Yeah, I don't want to know about these things. You're making me on the side of Jigsaw, to be honest.
But they've done this. They were kind of in a corner because they killed him off.
Yeah.
And, they made sure that we knew he was dead with that opening autopsy scene.
Yep.
I swear to God, though, when he cut out the stomach and there was another tape in there, I was ready to murder somebody myself.
I loved it. I was like, of course.
And I loved the
little
flashback.
flashback. He's like, yeah, remember that part?
Remember that bit when
there
he
was so many
swallowed a cassette in wax?
Yeah,
I'm like, you're
fuck
still
off.
not getting that thing down your fucking windpipe,
Exactly.
you idiots.
Seriously. Wax doesn't fucking
That's not
help.
like
If
swallowing
anything,
a key or something.
Exactly. Wax, if anything, is going to make it harder. It's
And
going
he's
to
already
lodged
like
in
he's
there.
cancer. He needs fucking oxygen to breathe. You reckon he can like swallow hard? Yeah,
He's
anyway,
got nothing.
Whatever.
He's got nothing. Also, at the end of this, of 4, we have it ends with the other cop who's trying to help, and fucking
Strawn.
and Donnie Wahlberg rocks up
Oh
again.
no, that's it. Donnie Wahlberg,
And
who
you're like-
made his appearance from 2. Yes, and so he's
So his character comes back. You see, kind of, because it ends with Donnie Wahlberg in number 2, and we'll talk about that in a
Yes.
minute. And then he rocks up, and you're like, "Oh, Donnie Wahlberg, where the fuck have you been?"
Now-
and you're like, "Really don't give a shit."
I just want to clarify something in
Oh,
this
sure,
as
sure.
well, as
Yep.
far as the twist. Let's
Mhm.
discuss the twist
The
on each
twist
of them as
of
well.
it, yeah, please.
So the twist is that the start of the movie was actually the end of the movie. Is that it?
Correct.
So that the events of 4 were actually happening simultaneously to the events of 3?
Correct.
Cool.
Yep. This
Excellent.
also happens again later in the franchise,
Let's
and
just-
we'll get to
Yeah, we'll get to that. So the twist being that we didn't know what was happening when
Yep. That
is
was one
also a twist that gets relied on
A
way
lot.
too many times.
Yep.
But yeah, so I just want to double check. This isn't one of those ones where there's
What's
two
going on?
storylines simultaneously happening at different times.
No.
No, because the one with the black guy, the SWAT
guy? Yep.
and Donnie Wahlberg and Hoffman on the ice
Ice,
block and
yeah.
thing,
No.
they're happening at the same time.
Correct.
We just believe them to be after the opening
After
scene,
the opening
when in
scene.
fact they are before the opening scene.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well done.
Saw 4.
Saw 4 at the bottom.
Well, my 7th ranked
7th ranked
Saw
Tyson
film is, funnily enough, Saw 7,
Saw 7.
known better as Saw 3D, the final chapter.
Okay. Well, I'm going to table it.
Tabled.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay.
So that leads to then your 6th.
My 6th. That would be Saw number 5.
Tabled. So we jump to my number 6.
Number
Nicholas,
6, Tyson.
which is Your least favourite, I believe.
Oh, dear Lord.
Saw number 2.
Fuck. What a horrible film.
So, look, and I'm just going to
Go for it.
preface all conversations with this.
Yep.
I essentially think my rankings from 8 to 6 are all equally awful.
Right.
Like,
8
I
to
think
6.
4, 7, and 2 have very little redeeming qualities.
Yes, that's true.
And so
Hang on. Say that again.
4, 7, and 2. I think on any given day,
Yep.
I could rank any of those 3 as the worst.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
we're just kind of...
Look, we're just talking about them.
Yeah.
They're all at the bottom.
Exactly. It's a matter of degrees in this point. But
really
if we
is.
talk about number 2, which is your least favourite
Yep.
and my 6th ranked.
Yep.
So third least favourite.
Third least favourite. 'Cause there are 8 of them.
There are 8 of these fucking things. Tell me, Nick, why did this make the bottom of your list?
Obviously because it's coming off the back of something lovely and original. Now, I was thinking that it was going to be amazing. Oh, maybe, it's got the same writer in there, Lee Wignall. He came back, he did a little bit of screenplay for it, and he was just fresh off the bat. So he wasn't, this was only his maybe second time writing a film or something like that.
I don't think
It
moved
wasn't
on to any of the other big franchises.
Exactly. So, it was still fresh. Now, for me, it was just a bit boring. I was the trap itself. That's what I'm talking about. The Jigsaw side of things, I'll get to later. But the game itself literally just took everything out the window of what we'd seen and gone, oh yeah, we're just going to chuck them in a haunted house sort of deal. No, a house with traps. Fuck it, we'll just let them loose.
Yeah, and look, this was
And
the
it
first.
just made no sense to me.
No, and look, none of these characters are even remotely memorable. We do have Shawnee Smith return. Amanda.
Yeah.
Who it's revealed at the end of this one, isn't it? That she is the first of Jigsaw's apprentices.
Yeah, the first.
The
We'll write
first
it down.
of about 17,000 apprices, by the way.
So many fucking apprentices. The first one was Zep, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where's Zep's, fucking...
Comeback. Where is his comeback to the franchise, man?
So, yeah, we don't have any characters that have any kind of merit whatsoever. They're all just
they're all
awful.
just
Even
fucking
Donnie
horrible.
Wahlberg.
Yeah, he's just
a fucking
asshole.
I hate him. He's just not charismatic in any way.
And you know the rules, like you know what's going to happen, and Donnie Wahlberg doesn't play by them. You're not that good of a cop.
No, and I think this one is the one that really, like, when we get to it later, and despite where it sits on my list, I do have pretty big problems with the first Saw movie.
Right.
But for me, this is the one where it became what the franchise looks like.
Yes.
It's this awful, desaturated, hardcore, man, like editing.
Yep. It's
all
quick,
grimy
like this,
and disgusting.
Yeah.
And everything's just slimy and everything just makes your skin crawl because it's like, I just want to wash that wall. Like, I just want to rub the whole place with like hand sanitizer.
Dettol. He wants the Dettol the shit out of everything.
Exactly. I just want to get it in like a gardening spray bottle and
fair deal.
And it's just that's what it became, and I don't like that part of it. The stuff that I do like, which is not a lot, but I do like some of the like grander story stuff, even though I'm kind of contradicting myself by putting 4 as the last one because it's when all that started.
Yeah.
But having said that, by the time we do get to something like 6, I'm actually like kind of like
you're in it now.
I'm here now.
I'm here now.
And so I'm gonna have to see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the aesthetic quality that I'm not interested in. Characters that blow. Direction that is like a pale imitation of what the James Wan was doing in the first one.
Yep. And that's the thing. It just felt like an imitation to me.
It did. It feels like a genuine rip-off.
Yeah.
And I heard that it wasn't even a Saw script. I didn't know this until I read some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a Saw script. It was a different. It was like a
different movie
thriller.
Altogether.
Another Seven
and they
rip-off
just slapped
kind of thing.
off a Saw. Oh,
like,
come
well, it's a bit
man.
like a cross between Seven and Cube. Like,
yeah.
That's what I kind of got from the gist
it's
from
a
it.
Cubed episode. Yeah,
and so,
totally.
and they, because Saw was so popular, it was like, hey, can we make this a Saw movie? And they found the way to do it.
It was so obvious. Like for me, especially because I got sucked in. We'll get to number 1, but I got sucked into oh my God, he was there the whole time. You know, I'm not going to spoil anything. Everyone's seen Saw.
Sure.
And this one, like, it was so fucking obvious. The clues, like, the numbers are in the back of your mind. I'm like, the numbers on the back of your head, you fucks. Like, seriously, how fucking dumb are you?
But this is where...
Like, it just was dumb.
I
for
love
me.
how thin the association has to be for one of these traps.
Whisper fucking thin.
Like, it's like, you know, you once... getting to it, when we do get to it, my favourite one is in number 7.
Yeah.
How he's talking about how he's a racist and so he can't see past the colour of people's skin.
Oh,
and so
God.
he has to tear his own skin off.
Fuck off.
And I just think, God, you're just like, how do
You're
they
not-
start with? Do they start with the death and then work their way backwards?
Yeah.
And say, well, what's like the moral conundrum that we can add to someone having
Peeling his skin off. He's a racist.
Yeah.
That doesn't. That's deep, man. That's on
that's
another
real
level.
deep, real deep.
Yeah,
Man.
put on some Slipknot.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
We've had enough of
What
Slipknot.
about that poor guy that just gets twisted around? What do you? How did they? He was innocent, wasn't he?
No, we're going to get to that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not in number 2.
No, you're right.
Number 2
So,
is...
favourite trap in number 2, Nick?
Favourite trap in number 2 is actually... It's so funny because she doesn't actually play the game.
Right.
So the storyline in number 2 is that all these people are in this house. They get drugged with this disease that they're slowly dying. And there's antidote around this house,
Sure.
right? It's in the safe. The numbers to the safe are all on the back of people's heads.
Yep.
The brunette that's just verbally violent towards everyone.
Glad
and it's just
you
not-
remembered all this, man,
not
because I'm just...
fucking- yeah, I know.
I was like,
I know.
what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
later. It's 5 and 6 where I just go, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
sure.
going on? Yeah. I think because 2 pissed me off so much, and because I haven't seen it the most. I've seen Saw 1 the most. Anyway. But the brunette, she's what the fuck? You're not helping. You're not helping anyone. You know, you're just screaming.
How does she get it? I've forgotten
So
which one she is.
her game, she doesn't even play her game.
Right.
She goes into I love this because she's coughing blood. She's so sick. She walks into a room. She sees the antidote in a glass box. She sees the tape that says "Play Me," grabs it and throws it and smashes it. So
Right.
doesn't even listen to it.
Sure.
Sticks her hands in the box and slits her wrists. Remember the
Yes, the
it
glass.
points down
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
slits down.
Sure.
Like if you pull down too hard, it's going to cut you.
Sure.
Fucks it all up, and she dies, hangs there and dies. And I'm like, you know what? You deserve that. That was
Well,
my favorite game.
what do you reckon the tape was going to say?
No idea, and that's why it was my favorite. Because I was like, you didn't even play that game; you just fucking jumped in. Yeah, the one that made me was the needles, the pit of needles.
Yeah,
That's still to my.
I mean, and yeah, it's
Oh, no,
gross,
no,
whatever.
pass,
but
pass.
but
That's
to me,
fucked up.
that's not a game.
No, it's not
Like,
a game.
That's one of those
like you said, it's wispy thin. It's a wispy thin thing.
Some
It's
of
got
them just
nothing
get
to do with
so
Jigsaw.
ridiculous
Yeah.
because you're like, hang on, there is for one, some of them are not winnable,
Yeah.
and that's when we get into this grey area where it's like, oh, they were the Hoffman ones because he
was out to kill people.
He was, he was just a psycho who was trying to use the Jigsaw name and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Totally.
But even some of these ones are kind of like, I don't see how diving into a pit of needles
Yeah.
to find her. What's she got to find
It
in
was a
there?
key.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was something. It was a key. Yeah, it was a key.
Like, yes, you got to put yourself through a lot to go get it.
Sure.
But you're probably going to die.
Mm.
Like, I know.
It's just going to be excruciatingly painful.
And
yeah.
like, I know some of the other ones.
Are you saying
in
suck it
other,
up, Tys? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that's that the whole idea of the whole bunch of needles going into you
Yeah.
should be the punishment for not succeeding, should it not? Shouldn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you know, like I know the whole idea is you have to put yourself through some pain and some suffering.
Yep.
But that to me feels like the end game,
Yeah, fair deal.
not the kind of
not the start of it.
yeah.
Not
Maybe the first one is just
you get
I don't know.
three.
You get three needles.
Pricks, 3 needle pricks, and then you keep going. You have to get
I
5
don't
and then
know.
10, and then you get a whole. You fall into the pit of needles.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting all kinds of hepatitis and shit. Like,
It's not nice.
unless they're clean.
They didn't look clean.
No,
Tys.
they didn't
This
look
place
clean.
did
Nothing
not
in
look
that
clean.
house looked
Nothing
clean.
in that house. It looked like it needed a decent amount of bleach.
When she in 3,
Mm.
does she have like a whole bunch of little
No.
like needle scars all over her?
Nothing.
Well, that's just silly.
Exactly. And this is the other skipping. One thing I didn't like about this. So there's an innocent in the house, which is Donnie Wahlberg's son.
Yes.
And we find out in the end, spoilers for Saw 2, don't worry, you don't need to see it. Please don't see it. Don't waste your time. That Donnie Wahlberg's son was in the safe in the room that Jigsaw was in the whole time. I actually didn't mind that. I was like, okay, I'll give you that one.
So, hang on.
I'll give you that one. And now
This is
Exactly.
This is twist number 2.
No. This is twist number. This is the first twist number 1. Because we just talked about
This is the first time
This
that
is the
they
first
pulled
time.
that same trick where
Exactly.
what we think is happening simultaneously
It's not happening at all. It's already happened.
it has already happened.
Yeah, these people are long dead. Or they're 24 hours
Wait,
dead.
so that's not the same twist. That's the twist. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This isn't the twist that was repeated in 4. This is the twist that's repeated in Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Spoilers
Correct.
for Jigsaw.
Spoilers for Jigsaw.
Which is, yes. So while he's watching on the monitors what's going on with his son, that all happened ages ago. His son's actually in the safe behind him.
And Jigsaw, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jigsaw just says, all you have to do is talk to me and you'll get your son.
Yeah.
And I like that part. I like that. Because you're a dumb cop who doesn't listen and it bit you in the ass.
But all of these twists, are fine as far as twists go.
Sure.
Like you
Nothing's blowing
you
your
just
mind.
kind of go, oh yeah. Like I didn't see that coming. Like just because you don't see it coming doesn't necessarily mean it's a good twist. It has to also kind of reflect on what you've seen. That feels like one of those ones where it's like a bad version of the first one.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
It makes you go, oh wow.
He was there the whole time.
So
Who cares?
what? But what does that mean to anybody? So that means I watched a whole bunch of people in a house die
But that happened
that
ages
had
ago.
no relevance to the story whatsoever. That's great.
Yay, team.
Because what did that teach Donnie Wahlberg?
That didn't teach him anything. He ended up dying in the original, in the first Saw room.
Hang on, tell me again what happens to the end of him. He gets put
So
in the original
he
Saw room.
thinks that they find out where the game house is happening. Donnie Wahlberg goes to that game house.
Yes.
He tries to find him. He goes around all the corners. He's yelling out for him. Da, 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 da. He ends up in the room where the original Saw
That's
happened.
right, yes.
And then Amanda comes out of nowhere,
That's right.
smacks him over the back of the head. He
Yeah.
wakes up, his legs chained, and
Game over.
Game over.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then he saws his own leg off.
He does,
No,
sorry.
he doesn't. He smashes it. Sorry,
No,
he smashes it
and
with the
that's
toilet.
in number...
We'll get to that.
Does he do it in 3? When does he smash... Or is it 4?
Oh no, he does. He smashes it in 3 because he's in the next one, and then you see.
4's the one where he's hanging up on the block of
4,
ice.
You see the end of him. Yeah, because he's not in. I don't
So
think
that's
you
his
see
first-
him in 3.
That's his first appearance in 4 then.
Yeah.
Is when he pops up on
Yeah,
the block
'cause
of ice.
he's
So
not
it
in-
must be
he's
in
not in-
3 then
he's not
that
in
he
3.
breaks his... No, it must be.
It's at the end of 2. Oh no, it's got to be in 3.
No, because he crawls through and he has
That's
that
right.
fight with the man. Yeah, it's
That's
during
right.
3. It's in the
During
flashbacks
3.
of 3.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
So he ends up in that room. Game over. And then as the dun 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 dun, the safe opens and you see his son.
That's
with a aspirator. And he was alive the whole time. Great one, Tys. Great one.
Sure.
Fucking hated it. That's why I
Hated
was
it
at the
sick. So, Nick, what was your number 6 then?
bottom. Oh, no, my number 6. I'm glad that you know the ways. My number 6 was Saw number 5. So it would be your...
Well, it's my number 5, which which we're about to talk
We're
about.
about to talk
so
about.
now
So,
we can
yeah.
talk about Saw number 5.
Saw number 5. Jesus. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I'm
don't remember what happened, did you?
struggling, man.
All right,
I'm
here we go,
really
here we go,
struggling.
here we go.
Give me the
Wait,
plot
wait.
synopsis of number
All
5. This
right.
is the one with Julie Benz from Angel and Buffy in it, I think, and
Stuff-
Dexter.
Stuffed if I know. And Dexter?
Yeah, the brunette,
I don't know.
Dexter's wife.
I didn't watch Dexter. So the story split. Who helped Jigsaw? Oh, the people who helped Jigsaw and 5 people who burned a building down.
Okay, yes.
That one.
So tell me about this building. I watched this movie. I shit you not. I watched this movie, and I'm like, what? What is going? What?
Yeah.
Are what? Who burnt down what? And
To
where?
be honest, this is going to be the most vague part of this podcast because I don't know what the fuck happened either.
I don't know. I know there was photos of him shaking hands with some dude who owned a building, and then one guy
But
was
why
like a druggo who burnt it down because he.
So there was a journalist.
They didn't
There was-
realize there were people living in the building, but who were the people living in the building, and why did Jigsaw care? Okay, so we
really don't know because it wasn't. No, we
Is
didn't
that-
pay enough attention. It just wasn't fucking clear. We both watched it, Ty. So I wrote notes. It's got nothing.
Yeah,
I got
look,
nothing.
I watched these movies. Yes,
And this, but this is the one where you saw Hoffman set up help Jigsaw with all of the
Yeah,
traps
so at
for
the end
1,
of 4,
2, and 3.
it's revealed that Hoffman is the second apprentice.
Yep.
To Jigsaw. So it wasn't just Amanda.
The second, yep.
It was the second apprentice.
Yep.
So 5, we do spend a lot of time. This is where it gets further convoluted. I actually enjoyed, and I use the term loosely, that part of this movie.
Really?
As much as I was not on board for Hoffman, because I was like, another fucking apprentice? Are you kidding me? For some reason, as it got more ridiculous,
it was different,
I was
though.
getting more into it.
Yeah, it was different. He wasn't in it because Amanda loved Jigsaw. It was a kind of attraction there.
They played Amanda as actually being someone that benefited from his horseshit ethos.
Whereas Hoffman was messed up.
Hoffman's a serial killer.
A serial killer who found a way, didn't realise that he wanted to be, and was opened up by the fact that he made a jigsaw.
So during 5, that's when we find out that the reason how he starts is because he killed...
Which is also...
He killed the guy that killed his sister and framed it to look like Jigsaw.
Correct.
Jigsaw gets wind of that and is like, hey man, don't fuck with my brand.
This is... fuck with my brand.
Like, if you're going to do it, come along and...
You're not paying royalties here, pal.
If you want to franchise this shit, we can talk about it.
Exactly.
So come along and hang out.
How about you come with me and we can fuck some people up, or I'm going to fuck you up.
Pretty
and
much.
he does.
Yeah.
He puts him in a seat and goes, okay, now it's your turn.
Puts in a word.
Cocks the double barrel. It's under his... It's like literally right here under his chin.
These movies use shotguns a lot.
It does, doesn't it?
I found that odd.
I like shotguns.
For a movie that, because to me, it's probably the best way to go. If I had to pick a way to go,
oh, dude, you're gonna blow
I'd take
it right
a shotgun
out.
to the head.
Either that or hollow point bullets.
Yeah. Because I'm watching some of this other shit. Like, I'm watching that dude get the sulfuric acid injection.
Pass.
Hard pass.
It's a hard fucking
Give me a
pass.
shotgun in the face any day of the week.
Or even to the chest. I'll be fine.
Those guys on that, like the whirly thing in number 6, I'm like, this ain't a bad way to go, man.
Look, that's fine.
Look,
I know it's coming, but fuck,
I'd be sitting there saying, look, man, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But if this is...
I saw
on the TV what happened to some of those other fuckers. If this is the way I'm going, just let it happen, man, because I don't want to have to deal with any more shit.
Save one of the girls.
Yeah.
Save one of the girls.
That's it.
They're younger. Go for it. Yeah, I'm fine. Give it to me.
Yeah, and then when he sees how compassionate you are and he saves you, you're like, ha, you sucker! I fucking hate you. You should have killed me. Anyway, so what are you talking about?
5, yeah. So my favorite game in this was the Pendulum, the knockoff Jigsaw. Hoffman's one. It was nice.
Edgar Allan Poe on this shit, didn't we?
Yeah, it was massive. And this is where it kind of fucked with you because the guy he put his hand in and it got crushed.
Well,
and
this is how you knew that Hoffman didn't care about because some of his traps are unwinnable.
Win them.
The one with because the first instance we get of that is with Dina Meyer, the redheaded curly haired cop from 3.
Yes,
and 2.
Yes,
and she might be in 1 briefly.
She
maybe?
is in 1. She is.
I like Dina Meyer.
She's at the top. She's at the start.
So when you find out because she actually she gets the key out of the sulfuric acid, unlocks herself, and realizes, hang on.
I'm fucked
either way.
Yeah.
So that's the first instance you get of Hoffman using the traps to kill off the people that he thinks are a threat to him.
Correct, yeah.
And then also just for his own fucking shits and giggles because this guy got out of prison.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He looks weird, Hoffman. He looks weird.
Costas Mandylor.
That's his name.
Really odd choice for this.
He's an oddball.
Because I know these things aren't exactly filled with great actors.
Sure.
I would say of them, there's barely an actor in the bunch.
Whoa. Jigsaw himself. What's Tobin Bell?
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell is
he's
fucking
fine.
great. I love Tobin Bell. No? Pass? Really?
I think he's fine.
You think he's fine? Fine?
Just fine.
Wow. That's harsh.
No, because I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
That's because you've just done
He's
just done a film
but he's got
franchise.
He's got one thing. He's got one level.
Oh, he's got... Yeah, that's fair.
It's just all the same shtick. And look, I get it. He's a villain in a horror movie, so his shtick is his shtick. But I don't find him threatening in the slightest.
Really?
And I find his rants, which I think are meant to be like insightful sometimes, utter horseshit.
Really?
Like everything that comes out of his mouth, I think is just the most ridiculous horseshit.
I love it.
Nonsense. Except for like stuff like obviously like in the 6th one where we're talking about health insurance and stuff. But this isn't. It's not like blowing my mind with its insightfulness.
Yeah, it's like meant to be Shakespeare.
No shit, Sherlock. Insurance companies fuck over the week.
Yeah.
We know,
We know
I live in the world too. I get it. So
it's not being smart in its say against these things.
No. Costas Mandylor, though,
Costas Mandalore.
If you, the sad thing is, if you take out everybody else in this, like considering everybody else in these films, he might be the better actor of the bunch.
What?
Which is saying so much because he is awful.
Costas Mandalore?
They're all awful. I'm just saying on degrees of awfulness, he might be the least awful actor in these movies.
Costas Mandalore.
The woman that plays Jill,
she's terrible.
Is maybe the worst actress.
She is so
that
bad.
And I do
What's
not.
her name? I don't know her name.
I don't know how she has managed to find herself in like 4 of these fucking movies.
Betsy Russell is her name.
Betsy Russell?
Betsy Russell.
Can you tell me what else Betsy Russell has been in? Why don't I recognise that name?
I just love Costas Mandalore's name. I'm going to say his name.
Is Betsy
again.
Russell like an old school scream queen or something?
She was in Private School, 1983.
No, that's not it. That
That's
sounds
not
like
it?
some crappy
She was in
TNA.
TJ Hooker. That's
Well, I mean,
badass.
like...
Come on. No, she's not a scream queen.
Okay, sure.
I don't
Well,
think.
Betsy Russell...
Oh, hang on. Cheerleader Camp. Is that a horror movie?
No, these sound like 80s TNA stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Denied.
Well, she's about the worst thing ever put on screen.
She is. She's terrible.
Just awful acting.
Just terrible.
But Costas Mandalore is bad. Don't get me wrong.
Stop saying his name!
Do you know what I know him for? Have you ever seen the movie adaptation of Fist of the North Star?
No.
It's a Japanese manga.
Yeah.
Which is brutal and like ridiculous. And I used to love it as a kid.
Yeah.
Like love it sick because it
Really?
was so overly violent and
That's
ridiculous.
what I
And they
know.
made a
Yeah.
live action version of it, and he was in it, and that's how I know him.
Really?
Costas Mandalore.
Costas Mandalore.
He pops
Was
up in a
also-
lot of random horseshit.
Remember Virtuosity from 1995?
yeah.
I think we should do that movie soon on Nic and Tys.
Virtuosity?
Virtuosity. Do you know why? Because I've never seen it.
I have actually.
And we pair it with Johnny Mnemonic because I've never seen that either.
We'll watch Ghost in the Machine as well. We'll watch all the.
No, Lawnmower Man.
Oh, that's a good one. Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah. That is some 90s sci-fi where we're like, hey, guess what? We can do sci-fi on the computer.
Hey, guess what? Virtual reality, guys. It's the way of the future.
Hey, it's coming out. It's coming at you.
It's going to happen. It's going to be. It's definitely
it's
going to
gonna
happen.
be awesome.
You just wait
It's
5
gonna be
years.
awesome.
We're not even going to live in the real world. We'll all
Exactly.
just sit on couches with virtual reality glasses on.
Pods on. Yeah, exactly.
It happened, man.
Yeah, it was. It did.
It totally happened.
But how it happened was a Tamagotchi.
Exactly. What are we talking about? What number are we up to? 5?
5. We're up to 5.
What was your favourite trap again in 5?
5's favourite
already done
trap
it?
was, we'll do the pendulum.
The pendulum, sure.
But I just like to point out that my note at the bottom of 5 was that I said no big surprises, but not as boring as 4.
No, and look, I think you're right on the money with this.
Like,
It is. It's like 4 Redux.
yeah, exactly.
Because
they kind of were like, well, yeah, and especially because you've got to think these things are coming out year after year, Tys. It's very rare that they've had a year off from Saw until Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Like so it's back to back Saws. Like, what are we doing next year? What are we doing next year?
But
And you've got to think that it's the same writer. Like, it's the same guy.
They would have churned out a story arc, or they would have done like a couple of movie kind of, I reckon, cycle.
Let's do on this one or do on this
Just because there's no, like, they would have known, hey, we want to look at releasing one of these a year, so can you kind of do some foreshadowing? Can you think about what you're going to do in the next one? I don't think they go from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 even without some kind of awareness.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And you realise that now watching the whole franchise. You're like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Oh, but,
Yeah.
oh, God, it makes it... maybe they didn't, because it's just so fucking out of control.
No, but that's the thing.
Every single time
No, it has to be out of control. Otherwise, it's going to be boring as shit. Because you're going to go, that's what happened in the
I 100%
last one.
believe that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I reckon these two writers are sitting there
Yep.
going, how ridiculous can we get this story? Where can we put a secret door?
Yeah.
In what
In
favourite
what-
scene
Yep.
from a previous movie can we put a secret door
Yep.
that somebody actually went through that we didn't see, which now ties into this movie?
And what actor out of the back? What's Danny Glover doing?
Yeah, exactly. Who can we get
back
to be
from
the new apprentice?
for just a little quick? Oh, remember this part?
Yeah.
That's not what you thought it was. Yeah. Let's move on.
I like the traps in 5, though.
You like
I
the
do
traps
like
in
the traps
5.
in 5.
What was the traps in 5?
Well, the idea, I don't mind the idea that if they had actually worked together, they would have survived.
But this is the thing. Yes, I do like the traps, but I had no care for these people whatsoever. It was the same as 2.
Oh, no,
I was like,
not
I
at all.
don't know who you people are. Like, I
Not
don't
even a little
care.
bit. Is 5 the one that opens with the girl chopping her arm off? Or is that 6?
No, that's 6.
Okay, never mind.
Yep.
What does 5 open with? The pendulum.
Pendulum.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. With Costas Mandalore.
Costas Mandalore. I love him. He's like, what are we doing with him though? Like
He
he's
has to-
like
he
he's
has
like
to do a
weirdly
TV show.
fat and like
He is. He's a
he's
weird
got
body
this
type, and he
horrible
wears
hairdo.
suits that are way too
way
fucking
too big for him. I just don't
What are
know.
you
I
doing?
don't know how this
And
guy
you don't
became
trust him
like
as a cop. Like you don't. You
No,
know,
he's
you are.
horrible.
It's some dodgy shit. You do like Harvey Keitel bad lieutenant.
bad lieutenant
shit.
style shit.
You do.
And all through these like, excuse me,
Cough it out.
not too much jigsaw voice. Like internal affairs have been onto this crew from the beginning.
I know, right?
Like
What the fuck?
they're the dodgiest motherfuckers. Are we gonna have? Do we have a single character in this franchise that isn't a scumbag?
Is
Like,
it redeeming? No, I don't think we do.
like they're all
It doesn't have a redeemable feature.
that does. I'm
No.
saying,
Oh, it does.
yeah, they're all pieces of shit. And
They are.
like that's a real problem. Even like Strawn. Oh, this is the introduction of Strawn as well.
Is it?
The FBI.
Oh, yeah,
agent.
the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's got it on all. And
He's
where
awful.
is... And
He's so bad. Oh,
he's
do you know
so
who's all
awful.
right? His assistant, the one that cops the shattered shit in the face.
Oh, she is good.
She's all right.
She was good. There you go. One.
There we go.
We found one. Our,
She's just a fresh detective.
she's just
in
coming
over
in.
her
She's
head,
trying to
trying to
yeah,
do her
she
best.
gets that. That's harsh. The way that she went out, that was a bit rough. I was like, oh, come on. Where was the game on that one? She just got shot in the face.
Well, I mean, yeah, because what does it say? The thing says something to her before it explodes.
the clue is right in front of you, or you should
yeah.
look closer, or something like that. And you're like, what? Hang on, what? What did it? I don't even know what it
You
said.
basically
and then
didn't even,
boom.
you didn't even give her a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Hoffman trap.
It's a Hoffman trap.
I'm sick of fucking Hoffman shit, man.
It's because you're coming off a long bend.
And then he pulls a dirty stunt at the end of this
a
one.
long bend of it. A long bend. What is
Because this
the...
is Strawn's actually in 4, but not as much.
Strawn.
But he's in 5 a lot. He
He
takes
is,
the
because
lead kind of.
He takes the lead on this
in
one.
5.
It is him because you've got what was his name? Marcus Vanderlaw? No,
Costas Mandela.
Costas Mandalore trying to frame him for everything, and he ends up in the squasher.
Yeah, so I don't think
That's what
he's not. He doesn't seem like he's purposely trying. It's not till the end that it becomes apparent that he was trying to frame him.
This has got to be really boring listening for our podcast.
You reckon?
listeners. Do you reckon?
Them us trying to figure out
Like,
what the
us
fuck
trying to
happened
figure
in
out
these
what the
movies?
fuck is trying to go on? You don't
'cause
reckon?
This is how everyone feels about these fucking movies. I almost guarantee it. Unless you've seen them like 10 times over.
Like seriously, if you are a fan of the Saw franchise, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. Why not? Give us a bell. A bell? Give us a bell.
Look, give us a Tobin Bell, and we'll we'll let you know.
I
Originate
would
now.
be interested to know if people do like this franchise. Most people that I've spoken to still rate 1 very highly. And it's like, okay, sure. And then they're like, oh, and I saw 2, which is okay.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it all goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I disagree
That's
completely.
Literally, my wife. When I said I'm watching the Saw franchise, she said, "Yeah, we've seen 5." I went, "Babe, we stopped at 3."
Yeah. I disagree with that completely.
Yeah.
But I can totally understand people feeling that way about it because it's because of this convoluted shit.
Right.
It's because this is what I said before. When you sit down to watch a movie
Yep.
on a Halloween
Uh-huh.
or because it was once a year in October, it was like, hey, let's go watch the new Saw movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of these people are sitting down and watching 1 to 5 before they go and see 6 because they're
Exactly.
like, oh, I just want to remember what Hoffman and Strawn were up to at the end of the last fucking
How did
episode.
the last one end? You need to know these things.
Well, generally the movie tells you because it
Oh,
shows
yeah,
you the
it's-
last
yeah,
little
yeah,
scene
it
again
flashes
because it's
back.
like, oh, well, you're all
And
idiots.
it does that like every Saw, like apart from the formulaic thing and the soundtrack and the score, it does that. Like you hit it right on the head with the camera shots being heavy metal, like that, like it,
Yeah, exactly.
like they're kind of
Exactly.
like shaking.
And the
and you're
first
like,
one did it a little bit.
It did, but just do it a little bit.
Just a little bit. I can't remember which one it is. It's either 4 or 5, where it's essentially like the
whole
entire
fucking
aesthetic of
movie.
it. Because it's even got the bits in it where those moments are actually heightened emotions. Like there's shots of
Yeah.
where Strawn's having a conversation with somebody, and then
And
it
it just
does
goes
the shaky flash,
and
and
you're
he's like screaming
Yeah.
to himself, and then he's like wiping he's doing like a "Rah!" kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not what's happening in reality. It's
Exactly.
it's like an example of his psyche, and I'm like, keep that shit. I don't fucking want it. It looks like shit.
I don't need it. And then especially when you get on, I'm pretty sure it's 6, where it'll do it, but it'll also flash back to, I remember this part in 2 and 3 and 1. And I'm like, no. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. Stop flashbacking to all the other Saws.
No, but do you know what they do? In order to create, it's like, well, it's almost like they've gone too far without something gross happening.
Right.
So they just show you a snippet of an intestine getting cut out again.
So true.
Or someone hacking off a limb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hang on, no, it's fine. I got it. You don't need to keep flat. Because all that does is make me go, oh,
exactly.
that fucking bit again.
Exactly.
I don't need to see it again. I saw it when it happened. I was there. I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, I have a memory. Like, it's okay.
Fine. It's fine.
Twist at the end of 5?
Twist at the end of 5?
Just that...
Fuck, I don't remember.
So here's the thing, right?
No, it was the squash.
But it's not really a twist. Oh, is the twist that he's actually set it up the whole time that now Strawn will be considered. But here's the thing. He says to him, if you want to survive, get in this box. You will suffer, but you will survive. Do you trust me? What's that shit about? How is any of this movie being about him trusting? Because nothing,
It's not. It's a
there's
setup.
no relevance
It's a
to
setup.
that.
It's
but
a setup.
what if he'd gotten in?
Exactly, Tys.
What if he'd gotten in?
Saw 5 2.0. Director's cut. Right at cinemas now.
I'm sure it's a fucking smash hit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
to
exactly,
me,
exactly.
There's so, and like this is that whole thing too that they're talking about. It's all about predicting people's. I predict people's nature.
Oh, fuck off!
And it's like, oh, come on.
But
like,
you don't know. That's not what.
That's just a really stupid way of explaining just how much coincidence these movies need to stack themselves up on in order to work.
Like if you were to do this over again, if you're going to go, we're doing the Saw franchise over again, that would be good.
We're remaking it from 1.
Stick to the rules. Make it. Don't give away Jigsaw's backstory. We don't need to know that shit until like after 4, and then make it so that he keeps going after these people, and these people can't get him. You could make it really smart story writing. You really could.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps.
You could.
There's a potential to be.
I don't necessarily
really,
want
really
them
good.
to change just how ridiculous it is.
Okay. You love the batshit insane roller coaster ride.
I've got something, man. I've got something to clutch onto because I'm done with traps by this point.
You've got Costas Mandalore.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I've got him and his fucking nonsense. Okay, because I'm done. I am done with the traps by this point because to me, yes, the ones like they're slightly more interesting than some of the other. Like the idea of them being able to help each other, is interesting.
That was funny.
But the traps themselves are pretty dumb. Yeah. Like exploding nails.
The exploding nails, that was lame. Like the room where you have to bash the glass off the roof, and in one of them is a key to unlock your way to get out.
Seems all right to me.
It was a bit... Yeah, okay.
How hard is that?
I did like the end one, though. I'll give it that.
Bash some glasses, man.
You have to fill a glass jar full of blood. Once it's full, the door opens.
And that's a nice touch because obviously the more of you that are there, the less blood you have to give.
Exactly.
Bloody blah, blah, blah.
Maybe not go all the way in. Maybe just
what
do
I found
a little
really
bit and
interesting
just
about
let it
that is
bleed.
that that's
Jesus.
the way that he demanded you do it. I'm just kind of like...
But was it? You could move your hand.
No, it looked like you had to feed it in that way. That's what it looked like to me. Because in my head, I was like, well, I'm going to slip my wrist, do it quickly, and then wrap the motherfucker up as quick as I can.
So for our audiences that don't know what we're talking about, they have to put their hand in a hole with a buzzsaw coming out of the out of the hole.
He's called Jigsaw, so we can't leave it too long without having saws involved.
That's true.
Because it had been a little while. We need to bring the saws back.
In this franchise, there's so many saws in this franchise. But for some reason, he decides to part his hand via Spock style, live long and prosper, and it goes through his index and ring finger. Is that your index finger?
Yeah,
the middle finger and your ring
finger. Yeah.
So it slices him all the way up to the point where it's halfway up his arm.
It seems excessive.
Very excessive.
Seems to me like it would keep bleeding no matter how deep you went.
Don't need to go that far.
You don't have to keep
Literally
going.
just throw a wrist up, you'll be fine. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Well, you get your wrist involved.
Come on. There's arteries in there, I'm pretty sure.
That's it. And it'll all happen pretty quickly. Like, you got to be smart. You got to play it smart.
Play the game.
You've got to get it done quick, and then you've got to be really, you got to get your t-shirt off, and you've got to wrap that thing up real quick, and then you've got to get the belt, and you've got to tighten that up. But it's okay. You'll be wandering around with your arm intact, at least.
Exactly. You may get your hand back.
Yeah, not this fucking...
Not you've made it into like a sad... Like, have you ever left celery in the fridge for too long? Like, it turns into that. I'm like, oh, that's sad. That's fucking messed up. That's messed up. Throw that out. Throw that in the bin. It's making the whole fridge stink.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on. Come on.
We do need to move on. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where
Okay.
for me, because so
We've done 2. We've done.
oh,
5.
you've got to do your 5th.
My 5th. My 5th is number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Table that, my man.
Table it. Tabled.
My number. What? Your number 5 was 6.
Yes.
Okay, so my number 4
Yep.
is Jigsaw.
Wow. Tabled.
Tabled. All right. What's your number 4?
Saw 3D.
So we're back. This was my second least favorite, and it's your 4th favorite. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay.
I totally am not kidding you. I actually dug this. This was messed up and stupid. And
I agree with the stupid part.
but do you know what I found? Because so at this point, people, you have to remember, Saw 6. I've watched 6 Saw films at this point. Like I'm 3 Saw films off finishing. No, 2 off finishing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, come at me. What do you got? And it threw me for a loop because at the start I was like, it's a self-help guy selling books about how he survived
Yes.
Jigsaw. And I was like, and it was flashing back to him and I'm like, fuck, I've missed a film. I've clearly missed a film. Who are you? I don't know who you are.
Sure.
Are you a friend of Strom? Are you Costas Mandelay's friend? Costas Mandalay. Are you a friend of Jigsaw? Did you have sex with Jill? What's going on? I didn't know what's going on. And I quite like what unfolded in front of me.
Sure.
I like that story.
I think there's interesting elements to the premise.
Yeah, so
I agree with you.
For our audience who don't want to watch Saw 3D, which, to be honest, if you're not watching it in 3D, what are you doing with your life?
Well, I definitely did not watch it in 3D. There's no chance.
No, but so it's about this one guy who's selling self-help books, being a survivor from the Jigsaw, who is now, which you get in very, very little parts. The media know, like the populace knows about Jigsaw. Everyone knows about him and things like that. Like
Yes,
they're doing
yeah.
news reels on him and shit like that.
Yeah,
he died.
he's a known quantity
Everyone
worldwide.
knows that.
Everyone's just like,
knows
oh,
it.
remember that guy who fucking literally did some real fucking messed up shit to
Exactly. Is he still alive? He's alive? What?
Seriously.
It was so funny. So yeah, so he's written a book on saying that he's survived. He survived, but he never did any of those things.
No, he was never actually in one of the traps.
Jigsaw
Where did the
finds
scars
him.
come from?
Exactly.
Did he do him himself?
Yeah, they're made up. It's makeup.
Oh, it was makeup,
Yeah,
was it?
at the end of it, when he had to do what he thinks gave him those scars, the makeup came off. Like it was little things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that he wiped them off. I thought he just... okay.
No, that came off as he placed the hooks into his legs. Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, I actually kind of dug it.
I didn't mind that part of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, by this point, the idea of the traps and the person that is in the traps has little to no interest to me whatsoever anymore.
Right.
Because it has become a complete numbing cavalcade of screams and intestines and melting.
Correct.
And
things going into
and people yelling at each
orifices
other
or skin.
and nobody listening to each other and nobody
Correct.
nobody responding like normal human beings would.
Yeah. That's true.
Don't get me wrong, I know panic sets in and some weird shit happens.
Under the pressure?
Under the pressure you might get a little fired up.
Sure.
But, we need people just to calm the fuck down.
Literally, you're strapped to a chair, listen to the guy in front of you, you'll be fine.
I know, and look, I'm sure it's fucking real painful to have a key dragged out of your stomach by a string.
By hook, thank you very much.
Yeah, by a hook. So
Yeah.
you're bringing up a bit of
some
some matter
lining.
on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're gonna have to go to the hospital straight after. You'll probably be in there for a little while.
You'll be fine.
You're gonna be fine.
You'll be fine.
Just shut up.
Look, shut up.
Just shut
Yeah,
up.
that one pissed me off. I was like, come on, this was
he's
so
telling
easy
you,
to
he's
get
telling
out of.
you got to shut up.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, man.
But she heard the rules. She knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I don't know about you. Screaming is not something you do as a response. I don't scream as a response to pain. Am I the only one that doesn't really do that?
Well, I don't think that the pain that these people are enduring, Tys, I don't know whether you've had that pain.
No.
But I know what you're talking about.
I've had my broken finger replaced without any anesthetic.
Whoa.
So I'll take that one.
Oh, you'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair deal. Fair deal. What did you do? Was
I
it a
was-
lot of swearing? Was it swearing?
No, you internalize
Oh, you
it.
internalised.
Yeah, that's it.
You
You
do
make I'm making some noises, but
Yeah, fair deal.
especially if someone said to me, "You cannot scream."
Oh, yeah.
you would be...
There'd be tongue biting. You'd be biting your tongue off.
You'd be doing all kinds of things to stop that because
Yeah.
I was just so frustrated. And like the guy on the guy on the planks.
Oh,
I was just like, hey man, just
shut the fuck up.
Relax. Do you want to get through this or not? Because I'm trying to fucking tell you.
But that's the thing, like in that situation, let's say we're in that situation. If I'm blind and I've been blinded for ages and I don't want to move, if I hear a person's voice that I recognise, a poison's voice, I became New Yorkan.
Yeah.
If I've heard a person's voice that I'd recognise, I'd be like, okay, what am I doing? Tell me what to do. What am I doing?
In a jigsaw? Am I in a jigsaw trap? What's going on?
Am I in a jigsaw trap?
Are we in a Saw movie?
Am I naked? Are you seeing my junk right now? Because I feel naked. No,
it's all right, Nick. You're not naked. It's all good.
I don't believe you. What am I doing? Do I have to be quiet? Because I'm not good at it.
Tell me the rules. What do I need to do?
What am I doing?
But seriously, like, just each of these, they seemed so... The only one that, to me, I think became kind of interesting was, yes, the last one. The fact that he had to pull himself up. Yep. Because...
Really? You found that one interesting?
I found it interesting as the trap because I knew it was going to be that. Yeah. The whole movie, you're like, oh, he's going to make him do what he said he survived.
Yeah.
I think it's horseshit that it busts and she dies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think if anything, this was the opportunity to have not a happy ending because they're never happy endings.
No, it should be him being a survivor. You wanted to be a survivor?
I think that was the one time because
that's true.
After this... We don't actually see him again.
No.
His wife just burns up to a crisp.
Yeah.
That's the end of his movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like,
we don't see the end of him.
No.
I need to rewatch. Maybe there's something after maybe there's a Marvel thing after the credits.
Oh. What movie are we talking about? Seven.
Stand
by for something later.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, fair deal. I agree with you there.
Like,
I agree with you there.
If you want to end this, the final chapter...
Oh, yeah, it said that, didn't it?
Like, why not have one fucking guy
survivor
that did it because Jigsaw gets to have that kind of like moment of satisfaction. Well, I mean, Jigsaw's dead by that point, but
dead.
You know,
he died
because that was his last will and testament. Apparently, was to treat this guy a fucking lesson.
I love it.
I love it how it's like after all this time, it's like there's this box. You must wear this key forever.
But
and it's just, this guy pissed me off because he wrote a book once.
Like, literally, that's it. I'm like, come on, are you serious?
Yeah.
And he has the book in the maze, and I'm like, that he signed, and like, oh, come on.
It's kind of just like, hey, man.
Come on, man.
Whatever, he wrote a book.
How about let sleeping dogs lie? How about that? How about calm down,
How about you just give him a hard time? Sure.
Like, yeah, sure. Scare him a little.
Yeah. But he's not, he's not these dudes like the way you're punishing some of these other dudes who are
exactly.
like
the guy
like
that,
legit scumbags.
Yeah, like the guy that hurt your wife. Like, hurt him.
Fair enough. He deserves.
This guy just wrote a book.
Whether or not he deserves that weird. What was his deal? Like, because that was the one they thought was let's make it the first trap, and so it's like it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, you just have to lean through
forward.
knives.
Yeah. It wasn't dumb. I did like the cradle of barbed wire though. That was fucking messed up. How he got out of the cradle of knives. Because the chair broke. That was really confusing. Yeah. And then he jumped at him.
And he went to dive at him and just landed in a thing of barbed wire. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that barbed wire just sitting there?
That was.
And then he went, oh. Did I see him make a little kind of, interesting face?
I don't
and that's how we got the trap in number one? Was that a throwback to...
Don't remember.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. A little bit of a wink to the audience.
A little wink to the audience.
See that? You might recognize that one.
Fair deal. What are we doing? Which Saw are we doing?
7.
And then, this is the one where the Hoffman and Jill story,
comes to a close.
I don't want to bar it.
Oh, it's a horseshit.
I don't want to bar it.
I'm so done with Hoffman by this point.
Stupid.
I'm over Hoffman by this point.
Because
I'm over Jill by this point. Because now what? So Jill's an accomplice too.
Yeah, because at the end of 6, she puts Hoffman in the mask that everyone knows of Saw, which reverse bear traps your jaw. Like he puts him in that, and his jaw gets ripped open, but he finds a way through the bars in a door.
Do kind of like that.
Do you?
Yeah,
Do you really?
I did kind of like that because it was kind of like
half his jaw.
Finally,
off.
we saw it go off.
No, but
and they found a way to because that's clever. I would not have thought of that.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty clever.
That was good.
And and I did like the screen with his cheek half cut out.
Oh, that was. I
was like, you know what?
That's
not too bad.
Okay, fair deal. So because but this is the thing. Their storyline in this movie is because of that, he's going after her.
Yeah.
Like that is the premise. And I'm
Jill
like,
is
this is
the
fucking
worst.
weak.
Jill is the worst character.
Weak.
And I love that we get all this nonsense with like now she's been playing an innocent the whole time, like she never agreed with what her husband was doing, but now suddenly she was there the whole time because Shawnee Smith.
Yeah. What? Wow,
Oh,
bless you.
sorry, excuse me, sorry. I didn't mean to wake up the
We
baby
forgot
there
about
with my
Clark.
sneeze.
Can I ask a question? What Saw are we talking about? Saw 6?
7. So
7, thank you.
we get all this nonsense with she's in like protective custody. She's trying to say, I
Which
know
is
it's going to be
so
Hoffman.
stupid.
We get this detective who is the second worst actor in this fucking franchise behind Jill.
Who?
The detective, the younger detective guy, who I swear to God is like playing like a detective in a primary school
Oh,
production
he was so
of fucking
bad.
Bugsy Malone.
He was really shit, wasn't he? He was C-grade movie
man,
shit.
he was garbage.
He was
I think
really
I've seen him
bad.
in other stuff too. Like he
He
looks
was
kind of
really
familiar.
bad. Self-help dick. Yep, that's right. Favorite game in this one? Wait. I have to say his name because this is it's kind of a oh. Hang on, wait.
What were the games in this one? There was the decibel counter that put the spikes in her neck. There was
Saw 3D.
There was the things in the chest.
Things in the chest.
Is this the one that had the random scene with the guy from Linkin Park?
There
that's
you
dead?
go. That was my favorite. Random Linkin Park.
So that was 7.
I wanted to say his name.
Chester,
Bromfield? Broming, what was his name?
yeah, but something like that.
We need to get it right.
For all our Linkin Park devotees out there.
Chester Bennington.
Bennington, there
Bennington. There we
you
go.
go.
That was my favourite because I was like, ha ha, that sucked.
It's probably one of the more gruesome ones.
Yeah.
I do like the guy that just gets his jaw and arms ripped off
I
simultaneously.
love that one. He's screwed. I do love that she's under the tyres. She's like,
Yeah.
you have no chance.
Crushed that
you are
face.
going to die.
Yeah,
but the fact that Mr. Linkin Park is like, just has to peel off his thing. But this is they just want to chuck it in. They've thought about it. We'll chuck it in. What can be the teaching lesson though? Well, they're racists.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
peel off the skin. No, that's stupid.
So the other guys were racist too. What happens
What happened is there.
if he just peeled his skin off? These other racists would just be like, "Yeah, we're
Cheers,
gonna
man.
keep being racist."
We're going to keep being racist. We didn't learn anything.
No, we didn't learn nothing.
We just learned that you're a champ, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Way to stick it out.
Way
for
to
us, bud.
stick it up. Thanks, man.
I
You're
hope
a champ.
Do you want some skin from my butt? I can spare some from
I
there.
can spare some. Maybe from my foot cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
I didn't mind.
Oh, go on.
No, it's not that I didn't mind. I thought it was really, really dumb, but I enjoyed the fact that the opening trap, the way it was like two people, how it was a 3-person trap
Yeah.
where they gave you an opportunity to save 2.
I did like that. And it was in broad public and everyone watched. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is exactly what people do.
And that's more like what the traps should be.
Yeah.
Like the idea that,
Two
there
guys,
is
one
a
girl.
distinctive there's a distinctive possibility for survival for at least one member of it. Yeah?
Exactly.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that one person be overly selfish and just kick the shit out of everyone else and run for the key first or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You
No,
have a
you have it.
conversation.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, well, we're making this choice
We have to make it
together,
who's going to die.
which is going to be the 2 to make the choice to make the third one
Exactly.
die.
And I love it that it was the two guys going, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
We're not going to die for this girl. And I was like, wow, well done, fellas.
Yeah, I mean,
There'd be so much more
they're
blood.
all awful human beings.
Oh, they're
but
terrible.
It was just an interesting one because it seemed to be a little bit
It
more
was.
in line with what we're trying to do here. Like,
It
if
was
that's
very
what we're
good.
trying to do,
Yeah.
not all the traps are like that.
Saw 7, 3D. This
Yes.
is where we get our next protege.
Well, this is the twist.
This is the mad twist.
This is the mad twist at the end. It turned out all along.
Hello, Dr. Gordon. Welcome back.
So I like that it starts.
Carrie Elves.
Well, it doesn't start. Does it start with it? Yeah, before the first trap, we have the shot of Dr. Gordon crawling out of the
Hello, Dr.
out of the
Gordon.
room, and then
Yep, with his sword foot
with
off.
his sword foot off, and he cauterizes it on the steam pipe.
Yeah, which,
Great move.
great move. Good water champ.
Good on you.
And then he goes, well done, Dr. Gordon. You passed the test. Now come with me, and you can sew everyone's eyes
Yeah, it's
shut.
like whenever I need sewing done, you'll be my man. Whenever I need some cheap
If
surgery
anyone
done.
needs some cheap surgery, like a key in a stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the guy.
And it just, I mean,
It's so
It's
stupid.
just so how many times?
It's so stupid.
How many times are we going to play this same game?
It's so
where
stupid.
it's like, oh, but it was also this guy.
It really wasn't though, and I can't believe. Like I've read that they've tried to get Carrie Ells back a couple of times, and this was because he got
It was something about his pay.
Yeah,
he
his pay
was-
in the first one,
yeah.
and they
Which
they
sucks.
finally got
Like,
him
I
back.
mean, like you hear shit like that, and you're like, yeah, man. I hope you sue the shit out of him because
Yeah.
you get paid what you said you're going to get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then
I'm
turn
glad
up
he
again
came
in the worst,
in the
like
worst one.
almost the worst one.
Yeah.
Well, not for you apparently.
Not for me. Hey, I liked the self-help dick. I like that he got his comeuppance. I'm all about comeuppance.
I just don't think he did really anything that
It's
wrong.
One of my favourite things is Taken. They all get their comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I just like seeing a regular Joe dick getting his comeuppance. You
Yeah.
know, he's not really a bad guy. But hey, if you want to test the waters, you're gonna get put to the test.
Yes. And we finally get the end of Dr. Hoffman
We do get the end of
Well,
Dr.
we
Hoffman.
assume.
We assume, yeah.
because
What happens? What happens?
he gets locked up in the
Oh, that's
original
right.
room with the,
That's right.
which is really kind of probably the best way to go, to be honest. Like if
It
we-
is. You just have to starve to death.
aside from the shotgun through the head, because
Yeah.
that's just quick and over easy. Like
Starve.
I could just sit in that room. Like you'd get used to it after a little while. You'd just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh well. Like, and
Well,
for a
like
guy like Hoffman, he's seen some pretty fucked up shit in his life.
He
So
was-
not much is going to scare him.
Exactly. He's going to be quite comfortable
Yeah,
where he
he'll just
is.
kind of sit in his filth for a bit and just be like,
Exactly.
all right, well, I'm getting a bit sleepy.
Fair deal. Looks
Oh,
like
I'm feeling a
out
bit
of bed.
dehydrated now. I might just have a nap.
Yeah, and
as
not-
your brain tells you to do,
and not
then
fucking wake
he
up.
just doesn't wake up. It's probably not the worst way to go.
That's pretty good.
Um,
I do like that. I do like the throwback to number one. I don't like the throwback to all the other ones.
it throws back to number one like in every second movie.
No, but that particular one
Oh,
because
sure.
everything is dilapidated. Like Lee Wignall's character is just fucking.
No, he's a skeleton.
He's a skeleton.
and you got
almost.
Dr. Gordon's foot
Foot
sitting
there.
in the corner.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. That's nice.
Um,
That's nice. I like that. But that's it.
That's Saw 7. All right, so Nick,
Saw
I've
7.
done my...
What are we up to?
What number was number 7 for you?
4. So we're up to your.
Number 3?
That can't be right. Hang on a minute.
I
So we've
said
done-
my number 4.
Have we done Saw 6? No, because we tabled
I've
it.
tabled Saw 6 for the time being.
Okay, so we're up to number 3. Yeah, go for it.
We're up to our number 3s.
Yep.
Somehow we went from you going first to me going first.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where we made that jump.
This has happened before.
It did happen once before.
This
How do we always fuck this up?
we do. It's
Right.
not our fault. There's a lot of Saws.
My number 3
Yep.
is Saw 3. Hey, welcome to the party, pal.
Dude. Saw number 3 is my number 3.
Great. Let's
I
talk about
like
Saw
that we
number 3.
landed on one the same. I like that. Saw number 3, Tys, was not a bad film.
I enjoy Saw number 3. I think I'm getting now to the 3 that I can enjoy.
Yeah.
For some reason or another.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because you love the characters. You're
There
with
is
them.
something
you don't love
in
them,
the
but you
characters.
have them. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I like this. I like the journey that Angus McFadden's character goes on. I feel like it has some.
Angus McFadden.
I just feel like it's kind of got a bit of
Fair deal. It's got a bit
thought
of weight
to it. Someone's
yeah.
actually put some thought into it. It's
Exactly.
like, we're talking about the grieving process, and it's not so much about punishing this guy. It's kind of actually about saying, are you capable of forgiving?
Yeah.
And it's not, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
So
become
true.
about his,
So true.
like, so many of these fucking traps and shit are like, like for instance, like how much of your flesh will you put on a fucking scale?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
that's not teaching any. And I fucking loved that bit in number 7 where she's like, "Look at my fucking arm. Look at it. Did I learn nothing?" I'm like, "Yeah, no,
No, you clearly
clearly not." And
clearly didn't learn anything.
Hoffman's sitting there like, "You fucking, how dare you disrespect my teaching
My
methods
teaching
or whatever?"
yeah, yeah.
It's like, no.
No.
She cut her arm off because a fat dude was cutting his fat out.
Yeah, fair
And
deal.
it's like, well, if that's how he's going to play it, I'm cutting an arm off.
Hang on a minute. Was that in this one?
No, I'm jumping.
Oh,
around. I'm
okay.
jumping around. I'm saying that in number 3,
Right.
we actually have a series of events that seem to be in line with what we're talking about.
Yes,
we're
that is
trying to
true.
better a character. Where he's trying to say, "Hey, grief sucks.
Yes.
You're wasting your life. You have a daughter who loves you, and you're betraying her with your grief.
Yes.
Get the fuck over it."
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And so it's got some nice stuff in it.
Yeah.
I like.
And they did really well with him. They set him up really well. Like with him, the fact that he's lost his son, he's neglecting his daughter quite.
He's been a right out
like,
creep.
really badly.
Yeah.
Really neglecting her, and and just not concentrating on what he has in life. So they're setting him up really well. So that's why I think what you said, like the effect of the game is working.
Yeah. We're telling a slightly more self-contained story.
Yep. We are in just the one room.
I like.
Yep, which is great.
We've got
we're splitting up a bit.
But the Jigsaw, Amanda and the Doctor stuff, I think is pretty strong as well.
Yeah.
I think that the homemade brain surgery scene, pretty fucking sweet.
Yes, very quite high on the tension there.
Yes,
it's quite
I think
good.
so too, because it's violent but with a very particular purpose.
Yeah.
I think the performances are some of the best in the series.
Yeah, cool. Because you've got some people who can a bit of acting chops.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it.
I think the twist at the end is the best one.
Twist at the end,
including the first one. I think it's better than the twist at the start of the first one. At the end of the first one.
At the end of the first.
Yeah.
The twist. What's the twist at the end?
The fact that the guy that she was.
Oh yeah.
The guy that she was sleeping with in the opening scene that we assume is her husband
is
not her husband. That's the guy she was actually cheating on her husband with. Her husband being Angus McFadden.
Yeah, I do love that. It did get me. It did
Which
get me.
I really liked that.
I
liked that a lot.
It was good. It was
and
good.
I liked that. I liked that. Oh, it gets ruined in later movies because they flash back to this scene like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
That he keeps saying, "My life is in your hands," and he can't hear that because of what he's gone through.
Yeah.
But then it's so dumb because it's like he knew he had to die because otherwise Hoffman wouldn't have got the tape. But he also knew that Hoffman had told fucking Amanda that she had to shoot the wife.
Convoluted.
Because if she didn't shoot the wife, he was going to tell Jigsaw that she actually was there when he killed the baby. So that moment actually becomes like integral to like Saw mythology. And so it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it's so ridiculous how much hangs on that moment. But back in number 3, in the simpler days of number 3, when it didn't really feel like it all weighed into that moment, I thought it was really good.
I don't think you needed the flashback setup of number 1. I don't think you needed that at all. There were a couple of parts there that were like, I don't know, I don't need this. Just concentrate. I guess because I liked what was happening in real time.
We saw some of the flashbacks to Amanda doing stuff
back,
in number 1.
I don't think you could have done that. I think you could have made that relationship a bit better with different things.
Sure.
Maybe setting up traps.
She's the most interesting of the apprentices as well, by far.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the fact that she did survive and she does believe that she actually helped him. Like she does actually strongly believe. Like she's messed up unit. She's a fucking she's a lunatic.
Yeah.
But she does actually believe that he's changed her outlook on life, even though she's struggling to maintain any sense of sanity.
I do like all the games. I like all of the games.
This is our Nick.
This is
our all-time favorite trap.
It is out of all the Saw franchises.
Ding 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 ding. The winner.
Pigs.
It is the fucking pigs.
The pigs. Oh fuck! I love it. I love it so much.
Laughed out loud when that conveyor belt started
the first
swinging
one happened,
and the pig came out, and I was like, "Are they gonna just drop pigs on him?" That made me laugh. And then when it went through the thing...
Oh, it was the biggest grinder you've ever seen. And then just
turned
pig
into
juice. Just pig juice came out. Rotted pig juice.
What a way. What a way to go.
It's probably the best way. It's the best. It's the best game. It's the best setup of the game that I've ever seen.
It would be... At least it wouldn't be painful.
Oh, but fuck
It would be disgusting.
You would not like if he survived. Let's say he lived because he doesn't live.
He does live out of the pig. Yeah, he gets him out of the pig. He doesn't die till later.
No, I'm saying if he lived on.
Oh yeah, right.
He would have that smell in his nose for the rest of his life.
Yes,
for the rest of his life.
You'd shower for like a week straight.
You're not getting that. Nothing's getting out.
No,
you would have to ask a surgeon to burn your sense of smell.
Tell you what,
out of your face.
At least you're not, at least you're not getting a wooden leg or something out of that. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Or an arm off or something. Yeah, fair deal.
But this is, back to what we were saying. This is where it's far more interesting because it's all about the forgiveness stuff.
It is, yeah. And that scene works so well because all he has to do is burn the child that he's lost. Burn his stuff. And look, and he'll get the key and he'll save
And that's
him.
actually kind of...
And it's really good. That's
good. A pretty... devastating thing to do.
It's hard.
It's one of the only times in these movies where I've believed the hesitation.
Yeah,
you know,
deal.
because for everybody else, the hesitation comes from this place of
I'm going
like,
to lose a fucking limb.
I'm going to lose a limb. Yeah, but to me, that's far less interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think the human survival instinct. I know nothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm no psychologist.
Yeah,
like I'm not a fucking. I'm speaking out of my ass right now.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that the human body will do one of two things when pushed to this situation:
fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Yeah.
You will crawl into a ball. Like you legitimately, you'll wake up in the bear trap, push the tape, and you'll just go.
Yeah.
Nope. Shutting my eyes.
Sorry about that.
Nope.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing's gone. And then the bear trap will explode.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And your body will just say, no, you can't, blah, blah, blah. Or it will be like a matter of seconds. It'll be something like, to survive, you must lose the thing that you do. And I'll be like, eyeballs out.
Yeah.
And they're gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll scream and yell and it'll be fucking painful as shit.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I just don't feel like there's an in-between.
Yeah, fair deal.
I don't know, but that might just be, I don't understand human psychology maybe very well at all.
I think this is what I got as well with the self-help dickhead. Like he didn't, whenever he, maybe it could have been for bad acting, but every time he was trying to help someone, the reaction on his face, I was like, I don't believe you. I knew the belief is gone from this movie.
Sure.
I don't believe in anything that you're doing. Whereas this guy, him just looking at just torching his kid stuff, I was like,
you believed that? You absolutely believed it. What was the other things he had to do? He had to do some. Oh, you had to save that. There was the girl that. What could she have done? I forgot. Was she the one that drove the car?
She was the one that. No, she drove away. She could have helped.
Oh, that's right. She drove away, and he couldn't get her out of the glycerin before she froze to death or whatever.
Yeah, that was by the way, that is a tough gig. That actress,
tough gig.
Tough gig. Well done. Well done.
That was. I didn't actually like that one very much because.
Oh, really?
Well, just
really? Why does she have to be?
Because he made it a bit. Well, for one, yes. They made it about his, with the burning of the stuff to save the guy. He's making a choice. Yeah. With her, it's literally just
grab the key
and get her out. Do you know what I mean? There's no sacrifice on his end other than the forgiveness element. Yeah. The one with the pigs, which is really quite funny because the pigs is the grossest one and probably the best designed from a thematic point of view. Yeah. He had to make the choice to sacrifice, not just forgive the guy because he has to save him, he's forgiving him, but to actually make the sacrifice as well. Whereas the glycerin lady, all he had to do was just go... Grab the key, let her out and be like, you're still a piece of shit and I'm going to you're coming to the cops. Yeah. Because you fucked it, right? Yeah.
It's your fucking fault.
He can still hold that grudge.
Yeah, fair deal.
But he doesn't have to let her fucking freeze to death hanging naked in a fucking meat locker.
God, that was a tough gig.
What was the other ones in that?
Twisty Man.
Oh, so Twisty Man. Yeah. And so what did he have to do for that? He had to take a bullet. He had to take a bullet in the shoulder and it missed him and it hit the old guy.
I forget what he had to do.
Yeah.
I think he did have to take a bullet. Wasn't there a safe or something on the back? No, that was him just looking for stuff.
There was because there was a gun in the same room. Yeah, whatever. Fucking who cares?
See, this is the thing.
Twisty ones are fucking. That's a wild.
That's
trap.
a hard trap.
Jesus, that really did look like. That's one of the ones that I'd just be like, oh man, just.
Fucking shoot me in the face.
Just shoot me in the face. Because that's messed up.
Because
in the face.
It's slowly just twisting every limb. Like, fucking Jesus. And I love how, do you know what I love about this one? Once it did his head, it was like, okay, we've done all of your body parts, we're going to do your head. And it screamed, and then it was just silence. Yeah. And I was like, perfect. God. You don't need overly blood sometimes. Sometimes you don't need all
No.
You don't need to go full gore. You just need to go, no. That was
do you know what there's not enough of in this movie?
Yeah.
In these movies generally?
Pigs.
Definitely. Pig guts. No, just that moment in each of them where
the realization.
No, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. In any moment in these movies, does someone get put out of their misery? Does one of the people go, I'm not going to be able to do this? Like when you're looking at Twisty Dude, right? And he no longer has like any bones still in his arms or legs.
3 arms are gone. 2 legs and an arm are gone.
Yeah,
I can't do this. You're fucked.
Don't you just kind of go and pick up a rock and just go, hey man,
it's not going to work for you.
Shut your eyes.
Sorry, yeah.
And you just go, go off a ladder.
There's not that.
Does that happen in any of these films? Does at any point does someone get put out of their misery?
No, I don't think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That would be an option. That is an option.
That's totally an option.
Yeah.
That's an option for me as Twisty Man. If I hear...
Do you see that brick? Yeah, fuck me up, man. Let's go.
Can you just kill me? Like, look at me. Even if you get me out now...
I'm screwed. I'm a pretzel.
What am I going to do with this fucking shit? I'm gonna be like the peg arm leg guy from Family Guy, the boat captain.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fair deal.
so number 3, good movie.
Number 3, good movie.
I like it.
I like it.
What's the twist? We've talked about the twist. We've talked about our favorite trap. We've talked everything.
Frozen Girl, Twisty Man.
Yeah.
Set up Father's Vengeance and Jigsaws. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, Pigs. Pigs, man. I will rewatch 3.
Good on you.
I'll rewatch 3.
I will never watch these movies again in my life. Nick, can we pause for a pee break?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're back.
Tyson is back. He smells of pig juice and he's lost a limb.
Oh, jeez. It was a tough trip to the toilet. I had to make my choice.
Make your choice. What are we up to?
So that means that, Nick...
We're up to my 2?
You're 2. You're number 2, yeah.
My 2?
Yeah.
My 2 is Jigsaw.
Right.
Yeah.
And we did table that.
And we tabled it.
Because
it was your...
My number 4.
Yeah,
it was my number 4.
Fair deal.
Now...
I haven't written any notes on this because it was last night.
So, I watched this morning.
Right.
And I was well and truly over it. Like by this point.
Yeah, fair deal.
This has been...
Well,
it's been
night after
an
night.
ordeal.
Yeah, this
Nicholas.
is at the end of it.
And that's half the reason why I don't think I ever want to watch these movies again. Is that
It's going to be a long
It's
time
just been
before.
it's been a real fucking...
It's been a fucking slog. Yeah.
So getting to the end of it...
Fair deal.
And just getting to the end of it and watching...
Another one.
What ended up being a reasonably competently made, if completely uninspiring, film was actually kind of a relief.
Yeah, fair deal.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it was kind of just a little bit...
It was okay.
Simple. Like,
yeah.
it was like, yeah, it's just
I-
just a thing. It's just a movie that has a pretty cool twist at the end, which is one they've already done before, but
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
It's another fucking Apprentice that we didn't know about, apparently.
Fucking hell, seriously.
But this is one that's been there the whole time, apparently, because this is his first traps.
Yeah.
They say
He's been
explicitly,
there.
These were his first
traps.
victims.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Because and then we get the...
How was his first victim not the woman not the guy that hurt his wife? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Yeah, fair deal. The only reason that I quite enjoyed it, probably because it's fresh in my mind.
Sure. I mean, that plays a part of it as well. I think...
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, and especially because it's the most recent. So I feel, especially because they've had quite a break since 7.
Yeah, it's 7 years.
To Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So they've had some time to kind of, what should we do? But then again, they didn't really bring anything new.
They didn't really... No, they didn't bring anything new at all. If anything,
plate.
it's just nice to see it made by competent filmmakers.
Yeah.
Like,
Spook Brothers.
Yeah, they made it's a very good-looking movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's well shot, it's well lit. It's interesting to see a lot more stuff in daylight as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's not as gritty and fucked.
No, and it's like it's in a farmhouse, so I don't feel like I want to wash myself.
Yeah, yeah.
If I breathed.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it has a different aesthetic quality to it, and I kind of enjoyed it. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was different.
Exactly.
On a story level, though, it's pretty piss poor, really.
Yeah. It's not the greatest. Like, it isn't 3. Maybe I should change. Maybe 3 is my 2. And Jigsaw is my 3.
Yeah, look, I
Either way,
enjoyed it
they're
less than
similar.
because I had it in 4, obviously,
Yeah.
but like it sat. I liked placing it there because it sat almost squarely in the middle for me.
Yeah, fair
I don't
enough.
think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But it's not the worst.
Trash
No.
like some of them are.
And it's not overly convoluted or fucking, you don't know what's not going on. Like,
No.
what's her name is dead, he's gone. What's his name?
Yeah, and the mystery is legitimately a mystery. It's
Yeah.
not like just nonsense that I'm like. It's not a mystery because I'm confused, which in the other ones it is. They make it a mystery because, like, they do. For instance, there's a shot of Jill in maybe 5
Jill.
dropping an envelope through a door.
Yep.
And
that's it.
And that doesn't. And that's it. And it doesn't get mentioned again until number 7.
Yep.
When you see that the door that she dropped that envelope through was Dr. Gordon's. Now, that's not clever filmmaking.
No.
Because there's nothing about that shot of her just walking up to a door and putting an envelope in that we give two shits about.
No.
So we're not going to sit there and go, but what about the envelope?
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? So we see the flashback and go, oh yeah, right.
I remember
that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, that's totally
Whereas
how it
in
is.
this stuff, in this one, there is some stuff that has significance.
Exactly. Yeah.
They do kind of play upon that whole... While I'm watching this mystery unfold, I am kind of like, oh, how did that happen then? How are the bodies getting from there to these places so quick?
Exactly. Yeah,
like
that's the
all
thing.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you do find out that it's actually happened years ago,
happened,
and he's killing different people, and and so when the detectives are referring to the people that we think they are,
they're totally different.
They're totally different people. I thought was kind of effective.
It was good. It had me really confused, and then I realised what was going on. I was like,
but they did the right thing. They made the shots that revealed these things, they made them feel more significant.
Exactly.
Yeah, they made them have a kind of an impact.
I think this is why it is so high up there, because it is more of a structured storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There's clever. There are clever things in it. I will say, like I like the ending. I don't. No, I'll rephrase that. I hate the ending. I like
That's not a rephrase.
I know.
That's a change.
I like that the way it's, because I had the same feeling when the laser cutters.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa. Hang on, what's happened to it? Shouldn't his head like fucking
off or
just
something?
like explode and cut to pieces? And I was like, oh, maybe that's just some bad, some
Maybe
bad
we ran out
makeup
of money.
work.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then when they show it by having him look up to the roof and go, hang on a second.
You didn't like that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I liked that.
Oh.
Hated everything about him being another apprentice. Like, hated all of it. Sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, was just so mad. So mad. I was just like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
Can't
Again.
you just be a copycat?
Again.
Like, just be a copycat. Like, seriously.
Be a copycat.
Be a copycat. I did like these characters as well. Like the girl that was just obsessed with Jigsaw and had all this stuff and things like that.
And that's kind of interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he had thought all the way through that she is my alibi. She's now running through the woods. She's seen what has happened. Did she think that's you?
Yeah.
So guess what? I win. Smart. I like smart
It
people.
did have smarter
I
stuff
like
going
smart
on.
people.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that cop, he was a fucking prick.
And it's a good character choice because
Who is he? I've seen him in stuff.
he's in a lot of TV stuff. I like him a lot.
He's got a good
he plays a good asshole.
he plays a good asshole.
Um,
Callum Keith Rennie. Callum Keith Rennie?
yeah, he's a good character because we could believe that he is the one that they're talking about, that he is the new Jigsaw. He is doing it.
Yeah.
But then when it's revealed that he's not, we still are like, well, he's still a garbage fucking dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
don't care that you die. Good luck to you.
It kind of creates that moral kind of conundrum that we're like, are we rooting for this guy to die? Because what does that say about us? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we get
exactly.
a little bit of that. And I like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, we retroactively reassess the kind of lameness of the traps because they were the first traps.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you look back at it and go,
That didn't...
that wasn't very clever.
The spinny fucking thing.
Like some...
Like that was the worst.
The big spinny thing that turned him into
How
a
is he
fucking,
going to
like
win that? He was just going to die.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, does it... Like, can he...
Are you supposed to like...
Yeah, I suppose he's got to like pool dive it and try and be as skinny as you can.
He died.
He died. He definitely died.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Yeah, and like when they get in the silo and it fills up with stuff and then it just starts dropping knives and shit. And I'm like, well, that's a bit lame.
That was very lame.
But it retroactively explains it because it's the first one.
It was his first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could also see that he was a bit simpler too. Like, no, sorry, simple is the wrong word. He was a bit more lenient. Like the way to pass the first test was literally spill any
Some
amount of blood.
Yeah, yeah.
Just show me that you're willing to do what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
like that. I really
And
like
he
that,
had
actually.
regret in this as well, Jigsaw, because he saved that guy because he was like, you know what? No, I decided that he didn't deserve to die for making a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's something that I
feel sorry for.
So
and that flashback as well, that was really nice. He's got scars in his back. Oh, the car.
But that's what I mean. When you're watching the scene
done.
when you see him with the scars on his back,
yeah.
it's not like
It's
putting
not like
the thing in the
post.
envelope at all.
Exactly.
You go,
It's just like, oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
He's been
What's
through
happening?
some
Yeah,
shit.
no. I wonder what that's from. Is this? Yeah, this looks important.
Is he a survivor or something?
Yeah, like you do kind of have that thought. Not why is she putting a random envelope in a random door?
And why do we not know?
And
about
why do
it?
we not know about anything to do with it?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So I think
this is why it's up there.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I think thematically it's nowhere near as interesting as 3.
Yeah.
But it does have enough stuff going on that I think if I had watched it maybe with a bit of a break between the rest of them,
Yeah.
like if I had watched it after not seeing any Saws since 2010 when I saw the last chapter,
Yeah.
I think I might have liked it a lot more.
Yeah, fair deal.
But because I was just one after the other, I was like, we've got to get this thing done.
It was a binge.
Yeah.
It was a mad binge watch at this point.
Yeah. Thank
Tyson
God.
was doing
Thank
it
God.
while eating cereal.
Do you know how hard it got to eat meals while I was watching it? Because I kept sitting, because I had to do it. I had to keep being like, I've got to chuck on a Saw movie and having some dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck me. I'm like I'm watching the most disgusting shit and eating like
Fucking pigs
bolognese
dying.
pasta.
That's awesome. I love that. My favorite game?
They're all kind of shitty in this, and that's the thing.
No. My favorite one. It was very good. It was very well thought out. You saw them, and especially because I love some comeuppance, she got it in the end. She was like, "I haven't done anything wrong." I'm like, "Bullshit." Jigsaw gets his man in the end. You did something wrong. What did you do? And they wake up, and they've got locks on and their locks are coloured. And he goes, and he puts the bullet in,
sure.
and they've got the keys in. They don't have bullets.
This bullet
Bang.
is the key to your freedom.
Good game.
Yeah.
Think it through, people. It's not just kill yourself off, and it's not like how much punishment are you willing to go through. It is actually a puzzle. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's not,
He really should have still tried that key. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't know much about keys and metal.
No,
It didn't look like it was that fucked up.
It was fucked.
The yellow one looked real fucked up.
Yeah.
But the green one
in pieces.
The green one looked okay.
You think you'd give it a shot? Hey, give it a shot.
Oh, did he have the yellow lock on? So
There
he
you
could have potentially unlocked hers.
Yep.
Then what?
That's going nowhere, Tys.
Isn't it?
Nowhere fast.
Fair enough.
Like compared to the acid in the face.
In the face.
face.
That was kind of gross.
Yeah,
That was
intense.
One
They
of the
did
first
really-
ones in a while that I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it was good. Apart from, that's what, like that and the pigs. And you were like, oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
One thing I have to say, I have to bring up the pigs again. That guy, he survives that. He gets out of that. He helps him. Dusts off some pig juice and
Yep.
he's fine.
He's fine.
If I was the director of that movie, I'd like, dude, I need you to keep, halfway through the next scene, I need you to,
I think he does a little bit, doesn't he?
No,
Doesn't he have a little
doesn't.
moment of like, oh.
No, he does it straight after, but that's staying with you for a while,
Sure.
man.
Sure.
That's some pigs. That's some
That's some
pigs.
dirty pig shit.
Exactly.
I want to move on because we're running short on time. my man.
Yeah, fair deal.
Which brings me to my number 2, which I think was much lower on your list.
It is.
Much lower, and that's
Yeah.
Saw 6.
Saw 6, Tys.
Where did you have Saw 6, my
is
man?
my number 5.
Right, so way down.
Yeah, fair deal.
So bottom half for you, Saw 6.
Bottom half, yeah.
Right.
Saw 6. What was Saw 6 again?
Saw 6 was the insurance stuff. The insurance company.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said before, it's not fresh. It's not something we don't know.
Yeah.
We're well aware that insurance companies fuck us all over all day and all night. I just liked that it was about something.
Yeah, fair deal.
And I feel like a lot of these movies forget to be about anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the third one was about something. The fourth and the fifth ones
We're about nothing.
are literally narrative. Like they are all exposition.
Yeah, very true.
They're all about
And
flashbacks and story.
Shit
Like they're
all.
not really saying anything about anything.
Yeah, so
and 6
true.
is
So true.
doing something like that. I
Look,
also
I agree with you. I don't know why I put it down so low. I just did.
Well, you said, and you're not wrong. Like,
Yeah.
there is no wrong placement in this. Like,
Yeah.
every one of these movies can be the shittest one.
Can be the shittest. I do. The one I will give kudos to this one, the different director, and you realise the difference.
It's
was like,
it's
oh,
one of the
wow.
best looking ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say Jigsaw is
Yeah.
the best looking.
Yeah.
It's the nicest photography,
Yeah.
like the most competently shot.
Yeah.
Followed by this one.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
And
I did like the story of the and trying to help his friends, and this one I liked better than what was the other one where the guy wouldn't shut up? Oh, the one that I liked, Saw 3D. The people who he's talking to are actually listening.
They're actually
These
listening.
people are actually listening to him.
Except for the crazy chick who, like, just basically once she gets the opportunity, starts swinging at him and he has to clock her.
You stupid idiot.
She had a pretty sweet way to go as well. She just copped a rod through the brain.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. That's pretty
weird.
instant.
Was it a rod through the brain, though?
It was like attached to her chest. And so
no, but it looked like it... No, because I don't think it was a rod through the brain. I think it was like it pushed her neck up to the point where it snapped her neck.
I thought I saw
because
something
it pushed
poking out of her head.
twice. So I think it was a quick snap of the head, so her neck snapped. I need to watch it again.
Oh.
I didn't know what was going on.
Regardless, it's not a bad way to go.
Better than pigs.
Better than choking on pigs.
Dying
drowning's
pigs.
apparently not that bad.
Oh. Who have you heard that from?
Guys that drowned. Yeah,
Jesus.
they came back and told me.
They're like, hey, Tys, if you need to go.
If you're looking for a way to go, it ain't too shabby.
I love that we're still following Hoffman at this point.
Oh yeah,
he's in the midst of it. This guy.
Yeah. This is the and I'll
the
say this again.
FBI are getting closer.
This is the least interesting Hoffman. I'm
really
kind of done by Hoffman at this point.
I think that's why I just hated
it's actually 7 is the least interesting. 6, I'm kind of done with Hoffman at this point because this is becoming Hoffman just trying to cover his tracks basically.
Yeah,
and everything is just like.
He's like, I've
got to kill this guy because they know about this, and if they find out about this, I'm going to have to do this. And it's like we see this is the cop as well. This is the other cop that played by
God, he's bad. The bad cop. Is this the bad cop?
No, it's the actual good cop, but he's terrible at his job. With the mustache, he's the guy that plays the head of the Nancy's in Shawshank Redemption. The guy that beats the shit out of Andy Dufresne and in
Boggs.
the laundry. Yeah, Boggs. It's the guy that plays him.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying so hard through all of this to go, where do I know you? I was doing that.
Yeah.
Where do I'm not going to look it up. Where do I know you?
Is this the one? Hang on. Is this the one that, or is it 7 when they do the voice recognition thing and find out that it's Hoffman?
No, that's this one.
That's this one. That's the end of 6. Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oh, I don't
See,
know.
this is the thing.
This is where I'm getting
you
a little
knew
bit
we were going to do this, audience.
But the reason why I want to say it is because I love how his thing is just literally grabbing a knife and just jamming it up through the chin.
Yeah,
he just gets everybody.
Then coffee in the other chick's face.
Oh, I like that move.
Yeah, coffee in the other chick's face.
I'm sad though. This is the thing. Like, I'm sad that in all of these movies, we get maybe 1 or 2 movies with certain characters. We start to think maybe they're going to be able to do something. Nope, they're dead.
No.
Nope, they didn't. They didn't figure it out. Okay, well, they did figure it out and then died immediately after.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is this one. Yeah.
All right.
Favorite game in this one? Definitely at the start. Pound of Flesh.
I hated it.
Really?
I hated that one.
What?
Yeah, I did not like that one. That's the least interesting part of this movie for me. That first trap.
I liked it. No, I liked the game. I'm not saying the movie part was interesting. I'm saying the game.
Yeah, I don't mind it as a game.
Yeah.
Like the Pound of Flesh thing.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones that annoys me because it's like...
Who are these people?
No, what is the... It's... I don't know. I'm probably just contradicting myself all the way over, but like, at what point is it...
What are they learning?
Yeah. At what point is it there any kind of form of success?
Yeah, fair deal.
Look at my arm! Look at it!
Look at my arm! That's so true.
Do you know what I mean? And so I'm just kind of like, okay, sure. Like, how much damage can you do to yourself before it's just kind of like...
Exactly.
You're just fucking yourself up.
And I'm pretty
now
sure she didn't get out of
up.
that. Like, at the end of that, she didn't get out either. Like, it didn't hit in time for her to get out, did it? I know.
I think it did. Well,
it did.
She makes it to the hospital.
No.
What happened to the fat guy? He just cops a thing in the head with the neck thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the drills. Also not a bad way to go.
Really?
Pretty.
Pass. I'd take the pigs. Oh, pigs. Anything to bring it back to the pigs.
Always bring it back to the pigs. No, my favourite game, I think, was... So, hang on. There were a couple. What was the first one?
Yep.
What was his first one? Oh, no. I was saying I like the twist with his family... That you think it's his family the whole time,
but it's not.
But it turns out the reporter is his family. It's his sister. We find out it's the wife and child of someone who he denied coverage to
and died.
Yeah. And I really liked that.
That was
I thought that was a cool twist.
Was a very cool twist.
I actually liked a few of his games because they all of them has a winner. Or a chance to be victorious.
Yes, that's
like
true.
A legitimate
the carousel?
chance. Yeah, the carousel. He has to make the blood sacrifice and cop the thing through the hand. Yes, it's going to hurt like shit.
But how are you going to save someone?
You're going to save 2 people's lives.
Yeah.
And you have to decide whether, who are you worth suffering for to save their life, and who also who's not worth saving, and like it's it all sucks, but at least it's kind of a moral quandary that you can get behind.
That's so true.
It's the same thing with he's got the two things in his hands.
Oh yeah,
you can save one.
You can save one and not
the
other.
You can't hold them both up.
That's true.
Who are you going to hold up?
That's true.
You know what I mean? And he actually makes the choice.
Either to save someone with a family or save someone
he saves
without.
the one with the family, knowing that which is kind of weird because I feel sorry for the other dude because it's like,
I totally feel sorry for him.
dude, it's okay to not have a family.
And by the way, exactly. And by the way, who's taking the photos of you sitting by yourself?
Yeah, that's it.
What the fuck?
Creepo Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So and obviously there's the girl who turns on him, but all he had to do, if she was a little bit more stably put together, perhaps he could have got her out completely. Exactly. It would have been fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I liked. They were the best series. No, that was from the 7th one.
That was the 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one pissed me off.
That one pissed me off as well because, dude, man up. That's not fucking hard.
But also, make him work for it. But don't keep stabbing him in the sides while he's doing it because that's an unfair advantage. You're not making it. That's the same thing that pisses me off.
Really?
Because that doesn't make it about his strength.
No.
It's like
someone pain you can
It's
take.
like someone tickling him while he's doing it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, well, fuck, what are we doing then?
And also,
if you don't want him to win,
watch the timer. 3, 2,
yeah.
Pull it up, and hey, win. Think about these things, people. Come on. They're not hard. It's not as if pigs are flying at your head.
I think he had to do it for 30 of the 60 seconds.
Really?
So if it got down to 30
anyway.
without doing it at all, it would have hit her eyeballs.
Right.
So really, you wanted to kind of work it out in 10-second intervals is what you wanted to do. You wanted to get it up for 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
hold
8, 9,
and then
10.
let it go for 5. Hold it up for 10, let it go for 5.
Smarts. See? Refer back to our Die Hard with a Vengeance for that one. In the jugs.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah. We worked that out, by the way.
Yeah, but look, it is it's my second favourite purely because I think it has enough good stuff in it. It looks good. It's got some things to think about. The traps are good and people can actually win them.
That's true.
There's not much as far as characters are concerned.
That's true. The Hoffman thing is
Hoffman
fine.
is getting pretty annoying by this point.
Annoying,
it's getting a bit
much.
But
the acting is, it's kind of solid. It's it's believable. It's definitely believable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jill is still around and annoying as ever.
Fuck
and
off.
The actual... But then, you also get one of the only legitimately, I think, well-acted scenes in the whole franchise.
Whoa.
Which is the flashback to the insurance office.
Oh, with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's talking about the procedure, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not Shakespeare,
No, it's not, but it's honest.
Yeah,
it's
it is. It's just a nice, honest scene. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's good.
Which brings us to our equal number one, Nick, and it's almost by
hilarious.
default, really, for me.
We always do this
well,
shit.
but there was not going to be any other movie because it's
the original, and it's the one that opened the door. And even though that rewatching it now, it's not like it has its faults.
Oh, it's
not a perfect film at all.
It's not the movie that I remember it being at all.
Yeah,
it is.
You're like, what was the point of that, guys? Come on! But you take it, especially because it has, for me, nostalgic purposes, and also because it did so well. And by the way, this guy was from Melbourne, and I was like, man, fuck yeah.
Look, it's nice. It's nice to support, independent Australian filmmakers.
Yeah.
Awesome. They got a big shot in Hollywood, and they nailed it. And I'm really
he's still kicking ass, which is great.
Yeah, he's about to make Aquaman.
Yeah.
Lee Winnell is doing great stuff. He's writing. He's he's had a few chances of directing now, and he's doing quite well. He's moving his way around.
Exactly.
It blows my mind how much I used to love this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
love it.
Yeah.
And rewatching it this time,
it just drops a little bit.
It is
time,
just
I
cannot in good faith give any of these movies more than 2.5 stars out of 5. I reckon
2.5 out of 5. Yeah, fair deal. I think
even
I gave
some
number
of
one
it,
3 stars.
Yeah, I think to make it make sense, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Right,
3 stars.
Yeah, same.
And even stuff like number 3.
Mm-hmm.
3, 6, and 1, I gave the same rating to.
3, 6, and 1.
Yeah. And it's not so much that I could interchange the order. I think I'm set on the order.
Yeah.
But as far as like that is the highest
level
I could possibly give these
totally,
movies,
totally
and then from
understand.
there down it just goes. It goes.
Yeah, it's under 5.
I don't think there is a movie in this series that is a legitimately good movie anymore.
Wow.
I feel like,
that's really sad.
I feel like number 1 is the closest thing to that.
Yep, I'll pay that.
No, actually, I'll take that back.
Ooh.
I think number 3 is the closest thing to a legitimately good movie in the series.
Yeah.
Number 1, though, did so much and took so many chances that you're rewarding
it. You
its.
do love it.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're rewarding its like impact and its kind of
And what it
cultural
did.
significance.
Yeah, like it changed the face of horror. It was like when Saw came out, it was clumped in with that body horror, not body horror,
Torture porn.
Torture porn. Thank you.
And it's not. It's not at all.
It's not. It's a
Saw's
really
a-
smart.
yeah.
It's a smart movie. It is, and it's kind of taking. It's a serial killer who's having these people not kill them. He's not killing them; they're killing themselves. But he's just setting them up in traps.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
riding off
the premise was great.
Yeah, the premise is solid. It's
Yeah.
riding off that kind of that gloomy, depressing thriller thing that that the late 90s, early 2000s brought, where we really kind of got kind of gritty and gross with our thrillers.
Exactly.
But yes, it's a horror movie, by all means.
Sure.
But you could make an argument that it's a procedural thriller with horror elements to it as well. Like, would you call Seven a horror movie?
No, of course not.
It's probably as much of a horror movie as Seven.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So, it's just, it maybe just goes a little bit more batshit crazy at the end.
I didn't. There are so many.
But there's a fucking head in the box at the end of Seven, so maybe it's probably equally bonkers at the end.
Oh, it's almost what you don't see in Seven that makes it. I love Seven.
True.
Seven is up there. It's the top 3 films of all time for me.
Yeah,
it's
Seven's
always up there.
It's a fucking killer movie.
Yeah,
it?
there's
Yeah.
even like
Tuning in for the gold here.
especially the small bits in Saw 1, like where it could have gone. Like they kind of had an idea of keeping Danny Glover's character. The fact that he goes to a batshit insane type detective like that could have gone somewhere. There's so many things that they try and juggle at the once that it makes it. Like I know what you're saying. Like every time you watch it, it just loses a star.
It does.
Like it really
Because
does. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's almost like I retroactively blame it for the state of what followed. Like,
oh, really?
Because we did go through a patch, not just in the Saw movies, but that aesthetic, that the jumpy around
2000s,
cam, the what looks like a bad fucking film clip for a Marilyn Manson video, was horror for a little while.
For a little bit.
And
I love it only lasted for a little bit though.
Yeah.
And then we jumped into, if it doesn't have ghosts in it, like the paranormal, it's not going to put butts in seats.
We got into, found footage kind of made its restatement again, and now we're in a really great place where it's about independent story driven horror, where it's really like about cool shit, like
being fucking quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Spot on. I love it.
So, I watch it now and I'm like, it's just so hardcore in inverted commas, and it becomes really kind of naff to me.
It's probably the only one, maybe 3. It's probably the only one I'll watch again, and I'm talking in 10 years.
Yeah, I'll still watch this every now and then, I think.
Yeah.
This was easily my least enjoyable rewatch of it.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah, and I watched this. Obviously, it was the first one we watched in preparation for this, but I watched it probably about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I was doing really well. I got up to. I started early and I spread out my prepreparation, and then I went to shit, and then I had to watch the last 5 in the last 4 days. So
see, that's why.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help either.
No.
Yeah.
But the every time I watch it. The acting gets worse.
Yes. Especially Zepp. Jesus Christ, Zepp.
Well, I mean,
Zepp,
God. He doesn't have much to do.
And do you know what? Do you know who overacts? Carrie Ells.
Carrie Ells.
He is terrible.
He's awful.
He's really awful.
He's awful.
And to the point where okay, Carrie, we've got a scene where you're just putting your daughter to bed. Okay, cool. Okay, Carrie, could you do that again? Because you look like a pedophile. You look like a straight up pedo in that. There's no fatherly figure in that whatsoever.
There is a lot. His delivery on a lot of lines required a second take. It required someone to go, "Hey, man, can we just either turn it down a notch, or can we try it again?" But
just think you're in the real. It's a bit of a real situation.
Yeah, try to
be in the moment.
And they needed to do something with this makeup as well. His makeup design, is awful.
Yeah,
awful.
It's weird. It's very weird.
But then you've got there's great things going on in it. The problem with it is that it made a villain out of somebody who's not in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's in about you don't ever really see him. You hear his voice on some tapes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have an impact on the movie at all.
No.
Became the villain. If Saw had been a standalone film,
would have been awesome. Would have been amazing.
We'd still be talking about it the way we are now.
Yeah.
But that character would, I think, just be a little bit more kind of like, hey, like what a fucking cool character though. I wonder what happened. Now that we know what happened,
You don't give.
I don't give a flying fuck. Oh well, he got cancer, married some chick. He had 3 apprentices.
His wife had
a miscarriage. You know,
and,
people have miscarriages. Like you know,
they
what
do,
I mean?
but that was messed up though.
But
that was a forced miscarriage.
Sure thing. It doesn't. You don't. Not everyone. Like people can,
Like go off the deep end.
People can deal with this.
Oh, I don't know. Some people can't.
Yeah, well, we don't all resort to murder death traps.
What I really hated in Saw 1 was the overuse of repeated shots.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Fuck me, guys.
It's like a Van Damme
you
movie.
don't need to. Yeah. Oh, you don't need to show that again. Jesus
I want to see the kick, but I want to see it from 3 different angles. So
Yeah.
I'm going to kick him here, and you show it from here and here and here.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's bit weird.
He is a bit weird.
Yeah, it was the intro to Tobin Bell. Their favorite game is obviously the reverse bear trap. It's got to be.
Well, it's kind of iconic now. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the like, I love how I forget which one it was. Pick 1, 5, 6, or 7. That the one that Jill puts on him, and he gets the original and puts it on her.
Yeah.
And you finally see what happens to her. But yeah, reverse bear trap. Very, very awesome.
I think and there's a simplicity to these games as well in the original one.
Yeah.
That I just like. I'm a sucker for the things just being a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
When it turns like some of the things that we ended up dealing with later on, which were just so outlandishly ridiculous.
Yeah. There was no way that you were gonna. It was just messed up.
It became kind of messed up, and just to the point where you're just kind of like,
especially with like, if you were to look at it now, like who's rigging up a fucking pendulum that high on a roof, Tyson?
Oh, it's a big ask,
Christ.
especially when all you have to do is like just douse some dude in some flammable
kerosene,
flammable cream or whatever, and just say, hey, you need to light a candle to look at the combination.
That's messed up. He's not going to win that. There is no win to that.
Yeah, there's a win to that.
You reckon there's a win to that?
Got to be careful. Just be careful with the candle.
I think there's a win to the barbed wire one. I don't think there's a win.
There's a win to the barbed wire one. He panicked and he was a big fatty and he got caught. But there are wins in all of the first ones.
Yeah.
There are wins there because Amanda wins.
Exactly. She wins and she comes out.
Yeah.
And,
and it's a tough gig, man. It's tough what you have to do.
Hey, Kerry Ells wins. He wins. He's got a wooden foot.
He cut off his foot. He did what he was meant to do.
Dude, what a champ.
He did what he could with these surroundings.
Exactly.
Even Lee Winnell had the opportunity to win. His key was in the bathtub with him.
Yeah, I don't think that's a win. I think that's messed up. He didn't realise that the key was in the bathtub with him and it went down the drain.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, fair deal. Suck it.
It was actually, what's funny about that one is that it was actually just...
He could have just...
It went down the drain?
Oh.
Oh. Well, he's fucked then, I guess. Like, that's kind of... Jigsaw would be sitting there like the whole time going, you had a key and it's down the drain now.
That's messed up. Or it'd be more like this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, fair deal.
So yeah, it's my favorite by default, really, more than anything else.
Mine as
I think it did enough good stuff.
For nostalgic purposes.
I've seen it a lot.
Yep.
You can never take away the experience of that twist, that end twist for the first time.
And that's the thing. If someone says to you, Tys, I've never seen Saw, do you want to watch Saw with me? Because I've never seen it. Maybe not this year.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, yeah,
maybe I'll put it on. And I'll say, call me in an hour.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Call me in an hour.
Or I'll just sit with my laptop open and I'll be like, just keeping an eye on stuff. I'll be like, huh? Did you get a load of that?
How good is that shit?
Did you check that in?
How good is that shit?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's important for later.
2004 Saw.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
we did it.
We did Saw.
Oh my God.
We will never, ever watch a Saw.
I never want to do this again, Nicholas.
Tune in next year.
Next year, Halloween special.
We're literally going to do... what do we do? What's got 2 in it?
I was about to say.
We'll do Candyman. No, that has 3.
I think Candyman might even have a 4th. Straight to video thing.
We will do... We should have done Child's Play.
Child's Play's got heaps now.
It
Heaps.
does, tons now.
I think it's got 8 now as well.
Fuck.
We have to do Final Destination because it's only got 5.
All right, we'll
when
do
we get it
Final
done.
Destination 5.
Oh, you never know. We might be feeling really ambitious next year.
And do Friday the 13th.
Not that ambitious.
We'll start in August.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to. Yeah, I think the idea would be to tackle one of the big ones, but the big one with the least amount of entries, which would be
Halloween.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Now you're talking my flavour.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That might be the way to go.
Oh, what a heaven. What a heaven.
Or Leprechaun.
Oh, Jesus. Hey.
That could be fun.
We wouldn't do it, but Jeepers Creepers.
No.
It's only 3.
but it's sus. I can't watch those movies in good faith anymore, which is really disappointing because I love them.
I really dug 2.
I really enjoy them.
Yeah, we can't watch them anymore.
What a piece of shit.
But that's the thing, Tyson. Even though that guy is a piece of shit, other people worked on that film.
I know. We've had this argument.
We have.
It's just hard.
I know.
It is hard. Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just done a movie franchise for you.
Yes.
We really hope you are listening to this while digging into your lollies. Oh, I was going to fucking lollies. Anyway. We were going to dig into our Halloween lollies. We hope you are enjoying your lollies. Hopefully you got more good ones than bad ones. I always like... what's your favourite Halloween lolly, Tys?
Oh, a Sherby?
A Sherby, yeah. Mine is a Reese's Pieces Buttercup Pieces.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Or any kind of... I really like coconut rough.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So if, like...
Not a Bounty?
No, see, it's not quite the same. It's got to be the chunks that you get at the cinema in the candy bags.
Oh, nice. Yeah, chunks.
Those things are awesome.
Any type of sherbet.
Nick, why don't you tell the people where they can find us?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We do hope, if you got all the way through that, boss to you.
Congratulations.
You're a champ. But you can find us anywhere you stream podcasts. iTunes is the main one. If you would like to give us a like, share, rate, and review us, we would also like that as well. If you would like to join in on what's happening up next week, because we have no idea, we would like a palate cleanser.
We're going to do something sweet and lovely. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to talk about fun things.
PG, for goddamn it.
Might be a PG movie.
Yeah, I'd like that, maybe.
Yeah, I need to watch some.
But yeah, join us on all the socials, which is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we do have a Gmail. If you do an email, we do have an email account. If you would like to write us some correspondence, maybe tell us what sort. We don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm done talking about Saw forever. Don't tell me anything about Saw.
Nic Tys Videotape at gmail.com.
You can comment, give us a ranking on the Facebook page.
No, don't.
Let's do that, actually.
No, don't.
Because I'm interested to know. I am just interested to know people's rankings, and we might post our rankings.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all in the same category. 3 is number 2, and number 2 is at last, and then number 1.
You reckon that's going to be the general consensus?
That's going to be the general consensus of everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of differentiation.
We did.
Yeah,
we did,
good.
but we watched them in a bit of a thing. And if you we're not going to stream or do any of our other
no, this was our Halloween special today.
Halloween special.
So that brings us to the end of our Spook-isodes, Nick. It's been a lot of fun. There's 5 Spook-isodes if you want to go back and check out some stuff. If you like horror movies, we've done a whole month's worth of stuff on horror. Yeah. We'd love to hear what you thought of them. We've had some really fun episodes this month. Yeah. And we always look forward to talking about horror movies. Next year's going to be a good one again.
Shout out to our new subscribers too that have just subscribed. Thank you so much.
And do tune in because we're going to be running a special promotion over the next couple of weeks to do with subscribing and reviewing the show. There might be some little gifts and surprises involved.
Yeah, but jump onto our Spook-isodes because a friend of mine was he's a listener, Tys, but he doesn't watch horror at all.
That's it.
So he's like, he really wants to join in, but he doesn't want to.
And look, this might be a nice way to get into it as well, because I was a bit similar. It took me a while to come around on horror movies, and now I've just smashed out all 8 Saw movies in the last 5 days. So, what are we talking about?
Exactly. If it was up to me, though, tune into our first Spook-isode, because A Nightmare on Elm Street is not only one of my favourite horror films, it's one of my favourite films.
Yeah, I reckon that was my favourite that we talked to. Actually, I'll tell a lie. I think the Carrie episode, I think it might have been my favourite episode that we've done this Spook-isodes.
Fair deal.
Definitely the original Carrie was the best movie I've seen.
Oh, that's because it's De Palma and Stephen King. A combination of that for Tyson.
Things that I really enjoy.
You've done it to a T. Tys, we've gone overboard.
We have.
It's been fun.
It's been fun, man. We'll see you next week.
See you, bud.
Bye.
Bye.